allowed the two
It's okay. It's okay. Off your mic. It's okay. Off your mic.
Chai! Now wow, people wey suppose talk truth to power don't off mic. And if we talk, now 500,000 they go sama us, call them hate speech. But fear not, Maiyegun don't come. Him go torchlight every corner, nooks and cranny of all these bad people where they spoil our country. So my people make we laugh, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh yo yo. My people make we shout, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, man of the masses, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh yo yo. Maiyegundiary Politico, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh yo yo. This one not the off in mind, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh yo yo. And in the touchlight every corner, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh yo yo. Okay, some people be they holla say they want the power. Chai, them be promise us say we go get light and power. Nah. Them hustle sote they can't get the power. But now they know they do anything with the power. Every day, dollar just they get the higher power over naira. See them talk say make we off mind, but thank God say Maiyegun don't come. So my people make you laugh, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh yo yo. My people make we shout, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, man of the masses, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh yo yo. Maiyegundiary Politico, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh yo yo. This one not the off in mind, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh yo yo. Person where they do evil, no one make person talk. Them say that Maiyegun, that man too they talk. He too they talk. Say Maiyegundiary, he they hot like pepper. But every day then they take money in bulk. Woman picking they the street they hawk. Still them talk say make we no talk. But thank God say Maiyegun don't come. So my people make you laugh, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh yo yo. My people make you shout.
Hello there.
Maiyegun làwa mọ̀, àmọ̀ tó dododo.
Good morning to you, good afternoon to you, and good evening to you from wherever you are joining me from. It is Maiyegun Live. Thank you so much for joining me. But just so you don't get yourself worked up in this, some of you have been sending me messages that Maiyegun, your Facebook has been hacked. No, it's not hacked. It's actually one of the background, what do you call them again? Administrators. Okay, I was given a chance to promote his YouTube channel. I told him it's going to be very strange to a lot of you. And I've been receiving messages in the last hour now. They've hacked your Facebook. No, they haven't. So don't worry. Get yourselves busy by getting yourself into tonight. Read the broadcast, the caption of the broadcast, the description of the broadcasts. Hear it. Invite your friends, invite your not so friendly friends. Just tell them that Maiyegun today, you get them? The headline is that of the sad news. It's actually a mixed news, but somehow it is a sad news that the government of Sanwo-Iku in Lagos have decided to deport Yorubas in Yoruba land. Those they said were living under the bridges, the Yorubas among them, hundreds of them, have been deported to Osun State, never to return again. So Motide, now good morning to you once again. Good afternoon to you. And good evening to you from wherever you are joining us from. Of course, it is Maiyegun live. For those who are watching live anyway, because majority are possibly just going to see this after. But yeah, top of the moment to you. Now, the news, which is the rider for this broadcast tonight, is the report that Sanwo-Iku of Lagos, they have secretly sponsored a supposed government kind of program to round up the homeless people, homeless Nigerians, let's start with that, in Lagos and return them back to their states. Internal deportation. It's not new, it's not the first time, but this is the first time that a state in Yoruba land would actually deport Yorubas within Yoruba land rather than rehabilitate them as they want us to possibly believe that you call them the city boys, Abi? Yeah, Thiefnubu and his army of ajeles, thieves from Lagos, career swindlers, conmen and women that have now taken over the reign of power in Nigeria using tribalism, religious fanaticism, and so many other divisive rhetoric to get themselves to power. There are those who believe that when the Thiefnubu and co, when they started the rhetoric of some people are coming to take over Lagos, then they turned it into we needed to save Lagos so that we can save Yoruba land. There was this kind of questions that I won't stop asking, I've been asking. And it's actually like a counter, sort of a counter to the nonsense that these guys have been spewing. I said, listen, could you please point to me just any one single benefit that you are benefiting as a Yoruba man or woman, Yoruba businessman or woman, Yoruba family in Yoruba land, inside Nigeria, that you believe is worthy of defending because some other people are coming to take it? Can you tell me one thing? Is it let's start with the basic things now, okay? Is it the economy of Yorubas as Yorubas in Yoruba land? Is it that different from others in any other part of Nigeria? Do you have this special treatment, privilege, that you actually benefit, let's say, your children, yourself, in the areas of education, healthcare, trade, access to loan for business, quick access to the best healthcare. Like, you don't have to be rich, but because you are Yoruba in Nigeria, you are Yoruba in Yoruba land or more. Now, the only Yorubas, they enjoy that privilege in the entire Nigeria. Can you point out any? So when they started their campaign of, you have to save Lagos from the Igbo, so, and I told you, it is completely a total political gimmick, ethnic baiting, dog whistling, just to ensure that they continue their old. But if you now look at it critically, the people that are actually taking everything away from us are the people who are telling us to hate other people because they are coming to take what from us. Tell me, I'm a Yoruba man. What do you think you are currently benefiting in Yoruba land that you fear if you are not careful, or if you don't defend these criminals, if you don't protect these criminals in Yoruba land, you are going to lose that thing. Is it your houses? The ones they are already demolishing without any compensation for you. Who are those taking your lands? Are the criminal politicians not the people who are taking your lands? Are the criminal people, are they not the ones who are demolishing your shops, your businesses? Do you, as a trader in Yoruba land, do you have access to this special kind of loan that they will say, Omo, see, Yorubas, their own is different. So look, man, they have access to unlimited money for business. They have access to the sea. And the way Nigeria is structured, Yorubas are so blessed that everybody wants to be like Yorubas in this regard, so that you can now say, oh, they are coming to steal it from you. Who are those who are really taking everything from us? They took our education. They took healthcare. They took our security. No infrastructure, right? And then the economic power that we should possibly have enjoyed, none. We are now competing with the northern Nigeria, on which of us is more poor. Who is poorer? And the criminals who made us poor inside that contraption Nigeria wanted you to believe that hating is to preserve Yoruba land. I said, if Yoruba land is to be preserved, self-preservation starts from wealth redistribution and economic empowerment. That you can say, as a Yoruba man, as a Yoruba child, your future is secured. And if more people come in, they may take away your access to quality education. They may wear out your infrastructure. No. You are only just being used as bait. And whenever the time comes for them to show you that they do not give a damn about any Yoruba, this is for the Yorubas. It is the same for all of you who are non-Yorubas. When you look at the people behind the entire, sort of economic incapacitation of the Eastern Nigeria, you will see the Eastern politicians, Eastern elites, and the rest of them there. And that is why an Igbo man will tell you, what exactly would you say as an Igbo man? You are benefiting from Nigeria, that you would rather remain as part of Nigeria than being being independent, your own independent country. What exactly? If you remove your selfishness and greed, tell us exactly what you think you are directly benefiting as an Igbo man. Majority won't tell you because they don't have anything they are. Same thing with the Northerners too. When you look at a Fulani that makes himself believe that he's a born to rule idiot, you are not born to rule. You are born as a serf, a slave. And within you, there are those that are going to be appointed so that they can represent you, speak for you. They can't speak directly with you. And that is why 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of you could be made a multimillionaire without producing anything. So that the rest of you can probably look forward to that one and say, if he can be blessed from nothing to something, maybe one day I will be blessed too. Therefore, I have to obey. There's absolutely nothing you can say you benefited as a northerner from Nigeria. For you to now say, oh, if Nigeria no longer exists, that thing, they will take it away from you. The only thing that will be taken away from everybody is the freebie that your criminal politicians they are living off. So if a Yoruba governor in Yoruba land, the richest state in the entire Nigeria, who, of course, like we know their incompetence and then the mismanagement of Lagos, of course. But if those who told you that Yoruba Ronu and turned some of you miscreants from Ekiti, ignorant, gullible morons from Osun, from Ibadan, Oyo, from Ogun, and from all those mostly dredge areas. I'm talking about areas that these criminals have totally mismanaged and destroyed. Have you been to outside Lagos, like when you are in Yoruba land, right? Be honest with yourself, so because me, and you can be living in your denial. Abi? So you will never think that the richest state in Nigeria has no place for the Yorubas, and they could be secretly deported and warned never to return back to that Lagos. And somebody will tell you, not sort of believing or agreeing with these criminals and their style of politics, is your own, I mean, it's you being unpatriotic to Yoruba land. But they are already turning majority of them now to Omoeru. They are already saying, indeed, everybody should go back to his states. And every now and then, the same Lagos state that is being, looted and mismanaged by those who are not originally from Lagos. And they are now those who can determine who is Lagosian or who is the Yoruba that should be where. Everybody who knows them very well, they know. Okay? If you look around that, who are the victims of their extortion? Who are the victims of their corruption? When you look around, since 1999, Yorubas been in charge of Yoruba land. So when politicians come around to try and stir up ethnic and tribal sentiment just to possibly win election or rig elections, a lot of you should always remember that you are their victims. We are their victims. Since 1999, the people who have been councillors in Yoruba land, they have been 99% Yorubas from their local communities. Majority of them grew up in. Those who have been the local government chairmen and chairpersons, chairwomen, since 1999, throughout Yoruba land, 99% of them have been Yorubas, and they are still Yorubas. Now, listen to this. Every House of Representative members, or those who have represented Yoruba land in the National Assembly, Abuja, since 1999, 99% of them have been 100% Yorubas. Same with the state governors. That one is 100% Yorubas. State House of Assembly, 100% Yorubas. And for 25 years, you need to visit some of these places. And then you ask yourself, Abba, apart from the fact that they have sort of enjoyed, so agreeing to horrible deals for the Yorubas, but they have been cutting what they believe is lucrative deals for themselves, and that is why majority of them who have been in charge of Yoruba states, Southwest Nigeria, for the past 24 years, as governor or this or that, they are richer than all of their states. So then, When election is coming, elections is where they will now whip the sentiments. You must defend these criminals, or else some non-Yorubas are coming to take over everything from you. They will take over your land. They will chase away your Obas. They will change your language. Your children, they will not. And then people believe them. And they went as far as attacking their own fellow victims for these criminals. Listen to this guy. It is quite interesting.
No, there's no hope at all. Honestly, stop deceiving yourself. I've always said that the greatest deceit is self-deceit. If somebody is deceiving you, it's still better. If you are deceiving yourself, you're a fool. Stop deceiving yourself. Fela saw the future, he said suffering and smiling.
But they increase the workers there.
Which workers? Civil servants. We are the normal workers. We are the doctors. We are the teachers that are supposed to mold children for the future. No, they are increasing judges' salary. You know what it means, judge salary. That's the first increment in Nigeria under Thiefnubu. Judges 10 PO, increase their salary. Everything preparation for next election. Now, civil servants. We are the common workers. We are the salaries. See today, look at the price of fuel. Till now, listen to people that are supporting the man. You don't understand? They are supporting the man till tomorrow. I've never seen it kind of. If it is Juju, Jesus, help us. Somebody will see. You are very white, and somebody will say no, it is black. I don't understand. I've never seen that. See, there's no hope for any worker. It's because how much is the salary? How much is the price of goods and commodities? Your salary cannot buy a bag of rice in your country. I say there's hope. There is hope. Your salary can't do nothing. Can't take you anywhere. A man was supporting the president. Now that same person is complaining that my salary is 40,000 over. I'm using 20,000 better car, Toyota bus. He's still supporting the president. If it is Juju, Jesus help us. I've never seen how people be supporting evil with open chest. You are supporting evil with open chest. You have somebody on this platform that why they don't allow Igbo people to vote during election. The person is justifying it. I heard it. That a human being is justifying why they don't allow people to vote in Lagos. A human being, and it's going to church. That is evil. People that pay tax, people that own shop, they pay tax. You don't allow them to vote, and the human being is supporting it. That human being will always. It is not ordinary anymore. Tell ourselves the truth. There's a spiritual undertone to these things. They have blinded eyes of people. How can you see? No, there's no hope.
So that's somebody right there on the streets, desperately wondering why that this couldn't be ordinary. So the point here is this: if you are a Yoruba man or a Yoruba woman, if you are a Yoruba watching me right now, I will continue to tell you, okay, that none of these criminals you see parading themselves, PDP, APC, or whatever you, in charge of Yoruba land right now gives a damn about anything Yoruba. It is all just like show off and all that. So it will be very, very foolish to think speaking or defending these rogues is defending Yoruba land. It will be very wrong if you continue to believe that, because there are those who still believe that. And it's also very wrong for you to continue to believe that without them, maybe Yorubas will have, maybe Yorubas will have no voice. As we speak right now, Yorubas have no single voice. That they are giving appointments. Thiefnubu is giving political appointments to his friends who are Yorubas. Doesn't mean that the prosperity, the economic worldview that they are creating for themselves will touch you. At least you can live, you are a living witness right now. So fighting yourselves or somehow thinking that you have to unite Yoruba, that's another delusion some of you do have, okay? Some of you believe that, We know they are bad. What we have to do is just unite. All of us should just unite and make sure what? You can't unite behind criminals who don't wish you well. You have to unite to destroy them. They are the people destroying Yoruba land. They are the people destroying Yoruba. And they are the people dividing Yoruba. Okay? And it will be so, again, like so foolish for, in this age and time, for somebody like you to feel offended that somebody says something about these rogues. You are just like bargaining chip. They will tell you too, they are politicians, we are one Yoruba. We are all, don't let anybody divide us. But there are those who are really dividing us. They have the chance of making that place great. They have what is called a dawn. There's this dawn master plan for Yoruba land. Thiefnubu and his gang have nothing to do with development other than just to grab wherever they can grab from you and own it. There were plans to connect the entire Yoruba land economically, using the wealth that Lagos is blessed with to improve the wealth of the rest of Yoruba land. Let me tell you this. This is an existing book, existing plan that has been in existence for over 30 years. Develop maybe an outpost, seaport, make Osun State industrial hub of the Yoruba land, or make Oyo State the agricultural hub, the food basket of Yoruba land, okay? And then begin to grow industries in areas like Ogun State, where all those things being manufactured there, being produced there would now be turned into some other products in Ogun State. Then Ekiti, Ondo, they have plans for all these places, so where they were going to generate the normal power for the entire Yoruba land. And where will be like industrial areas, where will be agricultural areas, where will be like some other, plans like that too. So it was meant to be Lagos, Ogun, Oyo, Ekiti, Ondo, Osun, and part of Kwara. This was the plan for Yoruba land. But these guys who call themselves progressives, they would rather share money, give people money, because that guarantees poverty. That's their way of politics. That's what they spread in Yoruba land. And that is why, instead of producing supposed world leaders, people who can actually really change the world, they are producing criminals, agberos, pickpocket, freeloaders, people who want to make money without any, without working for it. People who believe that loyalty is all it takes. But when it comes to the welfare of the Yorubas, these guys don't give a damn. And then you will see others, they will unite to make you feel like the Igbos are coming to take something from you, when you actually have nothing for them to take from you. Let's be honest. What do you think majority of us have left that you think? And this is happening inside Yoruba land. Then inside Nigeria, it's not new, like I said. That's how they deport Nigerians from state to state in Nigeria. When the crisis of the Alimajiri was at the highest in 2016, 2017 under Bokuwari, as they were deporting people, Alimajiri from Sokoto to Kano, they are deporting from Kano to Bauchi. Bauchi is deporting those ones from Bauchi to Katsina. Those ones from Katsina are deporting their own Alimajiri, deporting them to Maiduguri. Nigerians were being deported here and there. They were being bossed and dumped at different states. That's a united country. And some of you are not seeing all of this because some of you are not the victims yet. And as for the victims themselves, do they even know they are victims? When you have stayed too long in the dark, you are likely going to be seeing ghosts. Okay? And in this case, people have stayed so much in the dark and they have become advanced. They are now so deep in delusion. And it's no wonder majority will tell you, let's just pray to God to come and help us. So talking about the Yorubas and what we are facing, some are already now saying that We are now the ones who are screaming, "Ebing power," because it seems what they sold to my people was that the moment Thiefnubu comes in, food will be cheaper. There will be money. You know, Thiefnubu is a person where they do yafu. Nobody could point to any business, anything that productive linked to Thiefnubu under the free money that is like in control of, and they are aware of as well. And who are those who they are milking of this money? Yorubas and non-Yorubas alike, Nigerians in general. Abi? So they live off this and they are left with nothing. But they were told, oh, don't worry, when he becomes the president, I think that's what they told them. There will be cheaper food, cheaper this, cheaper that. But they didn't tell them how it was going to be cheaper, including petrol. Elogbe pamo, egbe naira pamo, ama dibo, ama wole, and it don't happen.
Inú ọ̀run la wà o, inú ọ̀run la wà tá ti ń wépo o, ẹ wo bá ṣe pọ̀ tó o, ẹ gbà wá o, ìjọba wa, ẹ wo nǹkan o, alẹ́kùn àtúnjìyẹ epo ó ti sú wa o, ó ti sú wa Nàìjíríà o, ẹ wo èrò ọ̀kadà lásán lélẹ́yìí o, èrò ọ̀kadà lásán ni o, ẹ wo èrò, àtàbẹ̀rẹ̀ kó sínú ọ̀kadà lásán, ọ̀kadà nìkan ni o, ọ̀kadà nìkan ni o, tó lọ báyìí o, tó lọ sí ojú ọbẹ̀ nínú ẹwẹ̀rọ torí pa àwọn epo ó bá ṣe Ajíbọ́dé la wà. ẹgbọ́n ẹgbẹ́ ni yẹn náà ni ẹlẹ́kùn tẹ́ rí àwọn
ẹgbẹ́ epo pamọ́, ẹgbẹ́ náírà pamọ́, a máa dìbò,
a máa wọlé, a máa dìbò.
a máa wọlé, a máa dìbò, a máa wọlé. Ẹ bá pààrọ̀ ìgì ara náírà. Ẹ lè náwó kẹ́ẹ̀dọ̀ ní gbèsè. Ibi tẹ́ bá gbójú sí ọ̀nà òní gbàbẹ̀, àwa la máa wọlé. Àwọn ẹlẹ́gbẹ́ alábùradà yẹn wọ́n máa ṣe kíni o, wọ́n máa lulẹ̀.
Àkọ́bí àwọn tí fẹ́ wà láyé dá o, àmọ́ yìí o, àmọ́ yìí o, àwọn àmọ́ yìí àtún ìmọ̀ o, èyí tí dúpẹ́ ìwà láyé dá. Bàbá dúró bá.
Ẹ wo inú ọ̀run la wà o.
Inú ọ̀run lẹ máa wà, ẹ má wọrí. A máa dìbò, a máa wọlé, màmí, alpha.
Ẹgbà wá o, tó bá yá wá sọ pé jàgàbá ni. Kí ló dé? Ayé ò lè tó yìí ẹ wà lọ́lọ́ta láàárọ̀ ìyá tata lọ́lọ́ 300 naira. Kí ló dé? Ààrẹ rọ̀ṣẹ̀, ọmọ náà ṣe ọ̀dẹ̀. Ọmọ kẹ̀lọ́ kúlẹ̀ yìí 3,500 lọ́ta gàrí ìkẹ́ ọ̀dà kan. A lọ pọnmi láàárọ̀ yìí. Omi dálọ́kọ̀ rẹ̀ bá fọ ẹ̀yọ̀kan 15 naira. Kí ló dé? Ẹ ṣàánú wa, wọ́n ní jàgàbá ni. Ẹ ṣàánú wa o, mẹ̀kúnnù lówó lọ́wọ́, ẹ ṣàánú wa. Àlè rọmọ skúlù public dog là ń rọmọ wa. Kí ló dé? Má pa wá Nàìjíríà. Igi ọkọ sí mo lọ rà lára wọn ní 300. Kí ló dé? Rice 30 ní 210 ní 2,100. Ẹ tún tẹ̀yẹ̀ ní 2,250. Kí ló dé? Ní rice pọ̀ 70,000. Kí ló dé? Ẹ ṣàánú wa o. Tó bá yẹ ní jàgàbán, wọ́n lè ra mọ̀tínà. Nígbà kẹsẹ̀ mi ṣẹ̀dúró rẹ ní ìdìnnà igi. Ẹ dín wọ́n ní 500 naira. Kí ló dé? Ẹ̀jẹ̀ ṣàánú ọmọ bẹ̀ kúnnú. Ẹ fẹ́ pa wá ni. Before I get 1,000 naira is not easy. I have 5 children. Kí ló dé? Fẹ́ pa wá ni. Àwọn ọmọ mi ò lè bu gàrí kọ́ mọ gàrí. Ẹ ṣàánú wa. Ẹ má pariwo jàgàbá. Àwọn ọ̀rẹ́ wọn lájọ́ nira wa lára. Kí ló dé? Mo ti bọ́kọ mi jà for the past 2 years now. Ìtọ́ ẹgbẹ́ kò mọ̀ wọ ọ̀bẹ̀lẹ̀ ni mo ṣe bọ́kọ mi jà. kò satisfy mi dédé ó jẹ́ ń béèrè pé sexy ẹ tí wọ́n náà ṣe máa gbogbo sílẹ̀ ṣé máa gbogbo sílẹ̀ ṣàánú wà tí kò bá wọ àwọn olówó wá sọ̀kọ́ lọ́wọ́ àjẹ́ káwọn olówó fi rà kí ló dé àwọn àtàjẹ́ lówó ńkọ́ kí tó ní 1,000 naira èdè máa ṣe báyìí kí ló dé ẹ̀jẹ̀ ṣàánú wà kẹ́wàá ká má fara nira wa lára ká má fara most funny part iná wà látàlẹ́ àná títí di àárọ̀ yìí títí di after 5 wọ́n jẹ́ sábà fomi kan fún wa ní 500 naira ní 50 naira kí ló dé ẹ ṣàánú wa o ẹ ṣàánú wa o ẹ níbi tá a máa yẹ ẹ gbà wá o.
Fellow Nigerians, this is just the beginning.
The cost of fuel has gone up. Food and other prices have followed it. Households and businesses struggling. Things seem anxious and uncertain. I understand the hardship you face. I wish there were other ways, but there's not.
I die everybody day. So if you are still somewhere thinking that Thiefnubu, Sanwo-Iku, dubious Dapo, Ajobi Ewe, Ajogba Trophy, Osun, Solo Makinde, and what is the other one again? The other two. If you think they have your concern or your care or your love at heart, they will probably need to go and do some deliverance for you, Niel, because I don't think my talk can cure you. They don't care about you. And that is why, because they don't care about you. So that's why they continue to ensure that all of you are divided and hate yourselves. And at the end of the day, even when they now have the power, they still have no single strength in them to give something back to us. But once they are about to lose it, then they will remember they are Yorubas and you are Yorubas. Forget other things. Yorubas, we have to stand by ourselves. And then you, whose future has been mortgaged, people who don't give a damn about you, you believe them again and say, I'm a Yoruba man. I'm not Omuale. Omuale ni Omuale. Òun ni Omuale jati. You see those Thiefnubu and the rest of them. Omuale ni gbogbo wọn. Tell me. You should be know your baba. You know your baba? Tell me. I don't know how successful you are right now. But you tell me that since you possibly became successful, and maybe you are from the humble background, though, like humble beginning, and you've always had that dream. I was going to build a house for my father, or I need to put my parents in a better place. You have done that now. Some of you have built houses for your parents. Beautiful place, renovated places, bought cars for your parents. Until some of you, our parents never afforded, they never afforded a car. They were not like there are those of us whose parents never touched car, ever. Until some of you started being successful and you started kind of, lifting your family and all of that. What I'm trying to say here is this. To some of us, it shows that we are true sons of our fathers, right? We are not bastards. You are not Omuali. The moment you are better off, you go back there and you take care of your parents. You take care of their own. You make them feel better. You make them feel different. Isn't that what you call Omoko? Huh? So you tell me that those who are Yorubas, who have been in charge of Yoruba land for the past 24 years, they are Yorubas. They are supposed to be Omo Yoruba, Omoko Yoruba. She na so as Yoruba land and the Yorubas are today in Nigeria, which is as a result of this Omuali Jatis that you call leaders. Because they are the ones who destroy Yoruba land. Whatever Nigeria also did to us, they allowed it. Here's something that you love. Ile Babai. Your father's house. And you have the power to build roads, to build schools for the new generations, right? To build hospitals, medical facilities, to keep the citizens healthy, to give them power, electricity, give them security, provide the economy that is indeed visible and real. And then you fail to do all of that. Our children are studying in dilapidated schools, and their wives, the wives of these criminals, some of their family members, they are building private universities, private schools with stolen money. Are those the sign of a more cause? But when election is coming, they would now tell you, if you don't support us, you are Omuale Yoruba, and you Omuale Jatis too will follow them. And then they will do it again. And they will do it again. And they will do it again. And then you cry again and again and again. You're calling people Omuale, people who care so much that a lot could have been achieved if these guys actually cares. But they don't, they don't. But the moment they mention Yoruba, Igbo, Hausa, this, your two deaf ears, they will just, antenna will just turn on. Yoruba, I cannot sit down anybody to insult any Yoruba. They say, but this one's no even love Yoruba land. You are Omuale. Any Yoruba Omo must support Thiefnubu Olori Buruku yi. That's how they will be deporting you. And as many of us are being made vulnerable and vulnerable and vulnerable, I hope before it turns to your turn, you will probably understand this. The people against Yoruba says self-preservation, self-determination, and self-rule. They are not other Nigerians. The people behind it are these criminals who want to keep us under that slavery, continue to sell you the political idea of ethnicity, tribalism, religious fanaticism, because they can keep that, and at the same time denying you access to economic power. Economic power that can afford you and allow you to be able to pay your bills. Real jobs that the world actually needs, real skills with real jobs that can actually make you empower, and that will empower you, and you will empower your family, and you will never depend on these criminals. They will never let you have that. During elections, they'll be sharing Okada, Orokwe. They will be sharing pepper grinding machines. They'll be sharing buckets. And they call them empowerment. And immediately after the election, okay, you are on your own. Their policies, their economic actions, and all of that, they are all to put you in poverty. But when election is coming, they will remember they are Yorubas and the gullible you, who thinks that everything they say, once they say Yoruba, everything or everyone who says things about Yoruba does actually mean well for Yoruba. They don't. Not what they say anymore is what they are doing. Look at them. Look at all of them. Then look at yourselves. So those who are against the self-rule of Yoruba people are also these Omuale Yorubas parading themselves. And it's because they have that power. And we will take that from them. Look at me very well. For now, that's what it is. They are favored in a skilled, rigged system like Nigeria. And that is why you have them everywhere. Every tribe, every ethnic nationality in Nigeria. We all have all these losers parading themselves as leaders. But we will get rid of them. We will take that power away from them. For now, they can laugh at us. You can laugh at us. You can laugh at us. Okay? Because for now, we don't look like a big threat enough that can get rid of these monsters. They look like monsters, but they will be dealt with. It's just going to be a matter of time. They will become people you know today, and they will become men of yesterday. And they will be held responsible for everything they are doing right now. It's about power, Abi. And it's about people realizing what they have as their power. When they do, we can overwhelm the rigged system, get rid of these criminals, and push for a better deal for the Yorubas, including the agitational advocacy for self-determination. These are the stumbling blocks. And why? It is simply because they could help Nigeria concept of keeping us in bondage. Once they don't have that power to do that to us anymore, all their friends from across the Niger or across the north, they will figure it out that the game is over. We will do that. But for now, you can laugh. You can yimu, but you won't be laughing for too long. Because they are digging their own graves, like they are digging their own political graves too. The Yorubas will realize who they are. All of you will know who they are. And you will no longer be able to be lied to anymore. They will never be able to use you against yourselves anymore. They will never be able to use you against others anymore as well. Everything they have used to gain this power that they have abused, rubbished, and destroyed our land. Awolowo will probably be turning in his own grave. Like, God damn it, man. But here we are. So I just have to say that. And again, this might be new to you that they have deported Yorubas from Yoruba land with no help or support or anything. And with the last warning of don't ever come back here. And Lagos is meant to be Yoruba land. The one they told you the Igbos were coming to take. And you help justify that historic, damaging, tribal, and tribal and ethnic profiling of the Igbos, only for them to now come and do this to you. They deserve it. Their own is too much. They want to take over Lagos. All of that, all the evil you supported, only for you to come and suffer this sufferness, Abi. Only for you to come and be treated like this. I want to hear that guy again.
No, there's no hope at all. Honestly, stop deceiving yourself. I've always said that the greatest deceit is self-deceit. If somebody is deceiving you, it's still better. If you are deceiving yourself, you're a fool. Stop deceiving yourself. So now saw the future, instead suffering and smiling.
But they increase the workers there.
Which workers? Civil servants. We are the normal workers. We are the doctors. We are the teachers that are supposed to mold children for the future. No, they are increasing judges' salary. You know what it means, judge salary. That's the first increment in Nigeria under Thiefnubu. Judges 10 PO, increase their salary. Everything preparation for next election. Now civil servants. We are the common workers. We are the salaries. See today, look at the price of fuel. Till now, listen to people that are supporting the man. You don't understand? They are supporting the man till tomorrow. I've never seen it kind of. If it is Juju, Jesus, help us.
Jesus, help us. Maybe Jesus can listen to these guys too, who have been chased away from their farms, but they do have governor, and Yoruba land have governors too, who don't give a damn about them.
Finish here. Kò sọ̀njẹ mọ́ àwa tó wà lóko kọ ìyá ló ń jẹ wá báyìí so àwa náà gan ti ń ra gàrí bá a bá kó ìwúrà sílẹ̀ á kó bó kóṣù sílẹ̀ á kó gbogbo nǹkan ní oko kò sí nǹkan tí agbádùn ẹ̀ mọ́. Gẹ́gẹ́ bí nǹkan tí iṣẹ́ tẹ́ rán mi mo dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ àwọn tí tó wà lẹ́yìn mi báyìí kò sí nǹkan tí mo lè ṣe tí mo sọ fún ẹ pé ìgbà tó ẹ fi bẹ̀rẹ̀ lẹ́ẹ̀kan òjò rọ̀ òjò yẹn àbápọ̀ ju eléyìí lọ òjò yẹn ló kọ̀ sí ẹ̀ gẹ́gẹ́ bí wọ́n ṣe sọ àwa gan báyìí òjò tó rọ̀ lé ní ló ṣẹ̀ṣẹ̀ rọ̀ gan báyìí kò dẹ̀ tóbi tó bẹ́ẹ̀ a dẹ̀ ní kankan àti ìgbì kankan ìwọ̀nba kan tí a ní sóko gbogbo ẹ̀ ni wọ́n ti kó lọ ni wọ́n ti jí lọ màlúù wọn gan báyìí wọ́n wà nínú oko bá a ṣe sọ̀rọ̀ báyìí wọ́n wà nínú oko wa àwọn kan báyìí mo wá pé tó jẹ́ ṣáàmà ni wọ́n ní Àkúrẹ́ níjọ́sí wípé kó wá wo oko wa ó ti sọ pé òun bọ̀ ló sọ títí dè ní ó wá chairman ní ọ̀gá wọn gangan tó jẹ́ ọ̀gá wọn níbí ní ìmẹ̀rì níbí ó wá sí ilé mi gangan lẹ́yìn ìgbà tó wá sí ilé mi tí mo sọ pé mo fẹ́ fi oko àwọn ìgbìrà lọ hàn bí wọ́n ṣe bà oko ìgbìrà jẹ́ àtìgbà yẹn mi tiẹ̀ rí mọ́ kó tó wá di ìjẹrin tí mo wá lọ sóko tí mo tún wá bá wọn lóko ẹni tẹ́ pè tẹ́ bá sọ̀rọ̀ yìí òun ni mo kó bá mi pè ọ̀gá wọn ní Àkúrẹ́ kó bá wọn sọ̀rọ̀ pé wàhálà ṣẹlẹ̀ báyìí o torí ẹni tí bá ti mú lóko mi nínú máa pátọ́ máa para mi tì í ìkan tí mo mì nìyẹn kó tó di pé ẹ tún wá gbé ìgbésẹ̀ tí ẹ gbé ní ọ̀sán yìí tó bá jẹ́ pé àárọ̀ la gbọ́ àbáná àbá pọ̀ gidi but nísìnyí ìwọ̀nba tí a rí báyìí ẹ̀jẹ̀ àwọn àgbẹ̀ Ondo State lélẹ́yìí o àwọn àgbà àtàwọn ìgbìlà àwọn gan ló pọ̀ sọ́dọ̀ mi gan báyìí ẹjọ́ ẹ gbà wá o Sunday Igboho kó gbà wá Sunday Igboho kó gbà wá kó tú wa sílẹ̀ nǹkan tí ta sọ nìyẹn o ẹjọ́ o ìyà yìí ti pọ̀ jù o lórí àwọn obìnrin gan ṣiṣẹ́ àwọn obìnrin tó jẹ́ pé owó kìí ṣe owó díẹ̀ ni wọ́n fi gba ilé ìbìrà màdúró àbàjẹ́ èèyàn lọ yá owó ó fi dá oko kò ní géènì kankan nínú ẹ̀ àwọn obìnrin especially àwọn obìnrin ló tẹ̀ dùn mí jù wọ́n lọ gbá owó èlé wọ́n fi ṣoko màdúró àbàjẹ́ lọ́jọ́ kan ẹjọ́ Sunday Igboho kó gbà wá o ní Ondo State o Sunday Igboho kó gbà wá o ẹjọ́.
Those are farmers, Ondo farmers. Who have been suffering from the endless invasion of their farms by the Fulani and their cows. And according to him, if it wasn't for the rain, there would be more than that in that video. Okay, said that whatever they planted is destroyed, and whatever is left on their farms is stolen by these Fulani herdsmen, and also the Igbiras that were hired to Ibiras indeed, but they call them Igbira, but Ibira, I think, right? And I think Ibiras are from Benue, right? Agatu, Ibira, no, I don't know. Anyway, so these were like a farm ants, all right? So according to that man, he said women who went on to borrow money for farming, they are unable to make anything from that, from that farming before the whole thing got destroyed. And people are really, really going through a lot. So he called out on Oloye Sunday Igboho. He didn't call their governor. He didn't call the government because they probably had called and nobody heard or listened or nobody cared. So he was calling on Sunday Igboho to come and save them. Please, so save us here in Akure, Ondo. We are going through a lot. And they are Yorubas. So there is no special privilege for Yorubas, even when it's supposed to say Genene, that nobody even know if it's a Nigerian or even if it's a Yoruba. Thiefnubu is your president. So he has no connection with the Yorubas. The only connection he has with us is the only thing he sees in the Yorubas is the opportunity to resell us into slavery. And so many of his friends and co-travelers, they are in the game as long as they will get their share. So we are like the slaves they are selling off right now. Okay? And we can die for all they care. Who cares? So there is no special privilege being a Yoruba man. Or having a Yoruba man as your president. In fact, if there is anything that does to you, it sets you up. Because people will say, she be your president now, Yoruba. What thing they do for you now? Absolutely nothing. Also, let's go to Canada. Peter Obi was with The Obedient. He is currently on what is called the Thank You Tour. Okay, I think it's also coming to the UK, possibly this weekend or maybe next week. So, and he was answering questions. He had a town hall meeting. Meeting. As I mentioned town hall now, I want to go and see. A town hall is different from Bulaba, Bala Blue, Blue. Let's listen to that before we go to that Canada.
If we lend ourselves to innovation, we can create wonders. Yeah, it's a successful, again, a town hall, different from Bala Blue, Bulaba.
Sorry, guys. I don't know. That just came to my head when I said town hall. So Peter Obi is in Brompton, Toronto. The African Wahala. How do you pronounce that again? Because all of us just say Toronto. I've heard people say no, it's pronounced Toronto. Anyway, Toronto. So I was there to meet with Nigerians who are obedient in Canada, where he took questions from his hosts. And I kind of have a few of them for you tonight, as important as I think they are. So yeah, he was asked, of course, he was asked primarily about to respond to this ethnic politics, tribal politics, and stuff like that. You know, so let me take it one by one because of our time, right? Let's start with this. So Peter Obi, when he was asked to react to the politics of ethnicism, tribalism, and religious division and all that, and he categorically said, they don't really exist. It's not like a real thing. It's just a creation of the elite to keep Nigerians down. And it seems to be working for them. So it's now up to all of you who buys into such rhetorics and all that to stop. But in his words, let's go in there and check. Obi.
Well, let me start. First question talked about the ethnicity and religion. Quite frankly, we don't have that issue. Ethnicity and religion is a clear marginalization of the elite, greedy group. Yes.
Sorry, guys. Just before we misunderstand ourselves, okay? See, as Obi is there, right? On this platform, there are obedience here. And they are sacred. You know what I mean? You see that man on your screen? Means a lot to them. Now you can criticize him, say things to him, okay? Like, no, I don't agree with no stuff like that. But I beg of you. You see all those slow vile that some of you who actually have your personal hatred towards the Igbos, and you don't want anybody to see you as having that kind of hatred, and you can pass it through Obi. Sure you get, by saying horrible things that are not real or true, but making yourself feel good there. I'm going to advise you to keep them to yourself. And as for everybody who is holding this span, like I said, he's a politician, so criticize him, say whatever you want to say there, right? But when I sense that slaw or that usual passive, you know what I mean? Passive, is it called passive aggression or something? It will be your last on this platform. I promise you that. He is not responsible for the ruined and destroyed Nigeria that you are battling with. So if you have any anger problem or any hatred, whatever inside you, I advise you to keep it inside you. If you spew out any kind of untruthful jargons right there, it will be your last on this platform, just so we are clear. So if you have people that you have to take responsible for what is going on in your contraption, I advise you to show that anger towards the people who have the chance of stopping it. If you want to come and transfer your hatred for Igbos and all of that through Obi, making it look like, but I'm just talking about Obi, it will be your last. Just so we are clear again. I hope I remember. I just want to remind us. So, guys with this banner, including myself, please read the comments.
Well, let me start. First question talked about the ethnicity and religion. Quite frankly, we don't have that issue. Ethnicity and religion is a clear marginalization of the elite, greedy group, the establishment, to keep us where we are. It is something that was born out of incompetence. When you're not doing well or when you want to do a state capture, you bring it in. Because I don't know any ethnic in Nigeria that is not suffering. Tell me which part of Nigeria is secure today. Tell me if there's any ethnic group that buys bread cheaper. Tell me if there's any religion that buys bread cheaper. If the Muslims start today to sell bread cheaper, I can tell you the Christians will go to the mosque and buy the bread. Vice versa. So it is what we use to continue keeping Nigeria where it is. Because we have refused to use the proper process based on competence, capacity, compassion to select our leaders. So they hire all sorts of tools to tell you, I'm from here, I'm from there, I'm from there. Is there any road that is started in Nigeria that is good, that only one ethnic group passes? No. Is there really any part of Nigeria that is working than any ethnic group? No. Is there education and everything? The North has been in charge for several years. That's where we have highest out of school children. You can enrich one or two people, which will not work because you're trying to just build a system where people make money without entrepreneurship. So there's no production, it will collapse over time. For me, they know we need to dismantle it. I have support all over. And they know that once that starts, so for us, once you remove, that's why I keep saying, we must dismantle this criminality. Yes. If you know any tribe, people, you can tell you, oh, we're this is happening, we're that, this is happening. But at the end of the day, that's it. I was just telling someone today, I said, listen, Abuja is in the north. You can't drive from Abuja to Kene. You can't drive from Kene to Auchi. You can't drive from Auchi to Benin. That is not in my area. But there's no road. Somebody said here it was someone told me today it's from Obama. And I said, hey, get a minute. There's no, so you can go on and on and on. Nobody can go from Enugu to Makurdi or Makurdi to Abuja. You can't go from Kanu to Maiduguri. So they're everywhere. You know, I try as much as possible. I drove from Kaduna to Abuja, from Kanu to Kaduna to Abuja just a week ago. To just cross Kaduna Ring Road took us about 2 hours. It doesn't make sense. And these are the tribes that have been in power. So forget about tribe, forget about religion. It is purely a tool employed by the establishment, the criminal gang that has led Nigeria for one place. It doesn't work. That I can tell you. And they know that we would have dismantled it.
Again, thank you for keeping that your, what do you call that again? I think your xenophobic, your Igbophobic opinion to yourself. And let us continue to be very refined. The way, like I said, see, me, I can say straight here and say, oh, he's wasting his time, he's never going to be president. I could say that, but it's of no use. Because he is actually standing up for something. And as a symbol of other millions of those who are this, they are Nigerians, no doubt, but who are like disgruntled Nigerians who believes that they probably have what it takes to continue to shake the establishment to the ground. And anybody where they shake the establishment is my own, in my own view, in this temple, is my friend. So I have told you this many times. If this is your first time of watching us, this is not a platform to what do you call it, to whitewash Obi or anything. No. It is a platform whereby we will not help Thiefnubu, the Nigeria establishment. We will not help them to destroy those who have the enough courage and proven to stand up to these rogues. If you are standing up for something, keep standing too. So let's keep it civil, okay? And I know I can't control what you say. I can stop what you are saying, or you are typing. I can. I have that control. I don't want to stop what you are saying. So express yourselves and all of that. But when I sense your typical Igbophobic in it, because I know how some of you hide it, and I do know some self-hating Igbos too. Here, you know, there are Igbos who actually hate themselves, but they don't know. And that is why when an opportunity presents itself for them to batch themselves, they don't waste the time. You get what I mean? Like, you can have all the horrible people, like we have them everywhere. But you know, that of the Igbophobia in Nigeria is extra. A lot of people that are today will tell you meaningless things and express their hate and all that for the Igbos through Obi. They used to sort of love him, you know. Obi is loved when he wasn't trying to be president. And the moment he started, he said he wanted to be president, his entire people, they escalated the state-sponsored profiling of the Igbos. So don't pretend, don't come here and come and pretend to me as if to say, I don't know what, you don't know what I'm talking about. So don't hide behind your Igbophobia. Because we saw how that quickly escalated because an Igbo man saying won't be president. Whether he go be president or you not go be president, whatever it is, right? We saw how it triggered the entire system, the entire establishment. You are a witness, I'm a witness. So don't come here and pretend that you don't know what I'm saying. So if I advise you to keep that your horrible things you have to say about Obi to yourself, I know what I'm talking about. And the reason is this. You see, the obedient are not Igbos. Those are the Nigerians who still believe that they could do something in Nigeria. And you know, one good thing about believing in something is this. Once you become so passionate about it, once you become so like, and you get to a stage that you're about to die for it. So around that time, those who cheat you, and they have a problem on their hands. So I want to see that happen. So I'm not going to let you help them to destroy them. As it is in Nigeria, everybody hates our oppressors. But the moment we see anyone who stands up to them, then we begin to put them on our judgment pedestal. Why is he not this? Why is he not that? I don't like this one. I don't like the way it's this. I don't, Suddenly we are no longer, angry the same way against the criminals who put us in this situation. So that's why I said, keep it civil. Okay? And if you can't keep it civil, then keep it to yourself. And if you can't keep it to yourself, I will help you mute it. Let's go forward again. Why are you wasting your time? You did not start early, this or that. I want to see the entire system provoked to act to something that will eventually bring a lot of us to say, okay, yeah, you know what? Let's do this now and get, you know. But if you don't believe it, if you don't believe in that, it's fine. I feel like that time when I think it was a Charade who came onto my platform and he said it to my face. I know you are now obedient. I said, Lenwe Charade. So I am now obedient because I talk about these guys, but I wasn't AAC. When we were all out there raising money for you and doing all of that in 2019, I wasn't AAC. I wasn't a Shiite. Or maybe I was Shiite too, when I was using all my energy and my time to raise awareness on their persecution their killings and all that by Boko Haram. Maybe I was Shiite, or maybe I was actually a Middle Belton. When the killings in the Benue, Plateau, and the rest of them were actually the reigning topic on this platform, where I kept raising the awareness and kept raising the awareness. Maybe I was. Or maybe I was IPOB. When Nigeria started the state-sponsored killings of Igbos by Boko Haram until it got so to his head that it got suspended on Twitter. Maybe I was IPOB too. So if all of you want to think that way, then we have a long way to go. If you will quickly feel like if somebody is not doing what you are doing, if they are not 100% just with you, just you, and what you believe in, everyone else's belief is nonsense because yours is better, then you are not thinking. You are not. We are in a soup. We are in a serious problems that the only reason why our oppressors and all these criminals are still existing and strong is because you have more strength to destroy yourselves than you have to unite and destroy them. Let's go back to that dear Canada. They said it's started late. It should. Probably what is he doing about the grassroots, to be precise? So, and what is he going to do different if they re-give him again? Something like that. So he had this to say.
Can't be with your children, Anaki, and think you'll be safe. And finally we said, will you keep contesting? Well, I can tell you, I'm not desperate to be president of Nigeria. I'm desperate to see Nigeria walk. Because they can walk. So the issue of grassroots. You started with the grassroots late. Well, maybe yes and no. Because if it was voting, people voted for us. But the system refused it. And I'm also beginning to reach out to the grassroots, like you said. I'm sure you must have seen me in the north and everything. But I'm not visiting the grassroots because of votes. I'm visiting them, or the next election, I'm visiting them because I want to learn. When you say we have 20 million out-of-school children, you're actually talking about 20 million productive people that can change the world. Countries like Gambia, just 10 million people. Netherlands is 17-something million people. I can go on and tell you countries that are not even up to 20 million. There's so many of them that are not even up to 20 million. So it becomes imperative for us to look at what is happening to them. And I went to study and learn about the Almajiri system. And I found people of incredible talent. I spent time in Almajiri school watching young people learn Quran, sat with them and watched them. And I saw doctors, lawyers, engineers, everything. Because the same talent they're using to learn the Quran and analyze it, it's all they need. What they needed is what we call Sharia system of education. So for me, since they can't go to school, if I have the opportunity, I'll take school to them. Where they're learning the Quran, I'm going to put English teacher, mathematics teacher, science teacher, everything there. And I can tell you before they finish learning the Quran, they also have learned something. We're not the greatest Muslim country in the world. Indonesia is there. The difference is that Indonesia have over 90% secondary school enrollment. We have 28%. The difference is that they belong to the high portion of human development index. We are low. So what is lacking is available to us. And that is the grassroots. And I'm reaching out to the grassroots. I want to change them. I want to help them to be better people because they can help us to change the world. Not because they want to vote for me. Like I said, for me is to get Nigeria to work. And they're not just going to be engineers and everything. We need productivity. Productivity today. I believe that today Nigeria can change from the north. We can make more oil work for us, but I can tell you, the north will generate more money, more resources for us than oil. So I'm reaching out to them as much as I can, you know, and of course, we'll discuss the First Lady next time. All I can tell is that she's okay, there's nothing, we're living together, we live for 30 years together, and I think we'll live together for the rest of our life. But issue of, for now, we want to save Nigeria. Thank you. Somebody said, Labour Party agents were not in all the booths. I agree with you, because we started, you know how we started and everything. There's so many lessons we learned. Somebody asked about lessons we're going to correct in the future. I won't stay here to tell you those lessons. Whether we are going to collaborate with people, you know, if the need be, yes, of course. People, collaboration, I'm collaborating with you people. You are actually the biggest collaboration we need to be able to dismantle what I'm talking about. We're going to work with everybody who thinks the same way we think, who wants to do the same thing we're doing. Our collaboration will not be based on transaction. It will be based on transformation. People have to be thinking the same way we're thinking. Otherwise, you're going to have a problem. If you go and collaborate with people who don't think the same way, or those that can easily change, because there's some people who can change and believe in what you're saying, you can collaborate with them. But if you collaborate with those who don't believe in what you're saying, you're going to have a problem along the line. I always say to people that I want to drive this bus, I want us to be in the same place with people who are going to the same destination with us. Because if you go and carry people who have passed their destination, you have a problem. And that's not what we want to do. We want to do the right things. And
again, just so we are clear, all right? Me personally, as a personal, me Maiyegun, I do not believe, okay, that Peter Obi will be able to do some of the things he says he will do. Not because he doesn't want to or he won't want to, but knowing what Nigeria is. Here you get. But here is something I kind of see and why I encourage you never to join others who are going to sort of manage to convince you to keep hating on him. It is meaningless. It is useless. What I do on this platform all the time is not to tell you anything new. Most of what I talk about on this platform every now and then, they are mostly things you already know or read about, but never really shown much interest or what have you in, until I make you show interest by making you go deeper. Sorry, by going deeper with you. Why am I doing that? I can't sit down here and be telling you about Nigeria problem. That would be boring. You all know about that. I can't just sit down there and just be telling you about politicians are bad and the rest of that. You all know all that. But if you don't understand how bad they are and who is involved, who and who is that bad, whose actions or inactions are going to affect your lives. You see, the moment you now begin to understand that, oh, this thing can affect me too. This thing is affecting me. Oh, I didn't see it that way before. What can we do? Maiyegun, what can we do now? That means you are now looking at it beyond just the headline. Since it no concern you, since it no affect you, then maybe it's none of your business. But when you watch Maiyegun, and Maiyegun says, look at it this way. If you are not a victim yet, it's because you don't know yet, you will be it. Then you are supposed to start feeling like, okay, what can we do? We need to do something. We need to do something about our this way, So if Peter Obi is not breaking it down in that way, that you have to know that it is not about who becomes your president or not, right? It's about you demanding or understanding why you want something different or better. Because I personally believe that the way Nigeria is, even Peter Obi as president of Nigeria, will still send the army, will still send the DSS, send their police after anybody who is trying to break up Nigeria. It is their tradition. Obi will not sit back and allow us to just carry our flag everywhere. But the difference is this. There's a chance that the reason why he would want to keep, I'm just saying this now, why he would want to keep Nigeria, it's not for selfish reason. It's not for self-enrichment. It probably will come from the point of sincerity of, innocence, which I won't buy. So by so doing, it will likely, as he promised himself that, okay, yeah, I will sit with people and have a conversation around this. There must be something we can do before we can now say, oh yeah, break it up finally. There must be something that can be addressed. The concerns of everyone in part of Nigeria who has grievances. That is something called leadership there. Okay? It simply means that, number one, somebody can actually decriminalize a democratic right, self-determination. It's not a crime, but in Nigeria, it has been criminalized. Criminalizing it in Nigeria is not because those criminals love Nigeria. No. It is because breaking up Nigeria today is like breaking up their loot. Do you understand that? And that is why they will kill anybody for it, and they don't want to have any conversation around it. No conversation. So that's the difference. So when I show you these things, I just want you to see through this man, how those who are like the millions of others who are actually listening to him, how they could actually be a big disruptor that will disrupt and kind of destroy this establishment. Anybody will get the dagger for hand. Aiming. I always encourage them to aim very, very high. I don't want them to miss. And since we don't know which of them that will eat, don't join them in destroying this obedience. Don't let them use you to continue to pass their hatred towards the Igbos, which escalated because an Igbo man saying won't be president. Because they will use you again and again. But what would you get back in return? Poverty, oppression, suppression, and even death. Why would you do that to yourself? Here, he was being asked, I think he was talking about those who are in the diaspora. And they, talking about partnership or no partnership, right? He had this to say. Listen.
And finally we said, will you keep contesting? Well, I can tell you.
I would wait on that. Because that one is so like, oh, would you keep contesting and all that? And he kept telling them, this is not about contesting or so. All right? If we have to put pressure on those who are there to do the right thing, if they can fix the whole place, if our pressure could make them fix the place, it is still a win. Right? I'll come back to that. Listen to this one. He was talking to the supposed Nigerians in Canada who are now pretty much, unsure if they want to go back to Nigeria or not. Nigeria is suffering the biggest or the highest in Nigeria's history, brain drain, where people were living in droves at every given opportunity. He had this to say.
The problem of the North is when you start from the top, the minor.
Let's put the questions. This is a question time. Sorry. People put their questions together, then you answer them afterward. So I'll show you that after. Listen.
The problem of the North is when you start from the top, the minor tribes that are there, they will not be able to get the help. And even if it's given to the top, they will give it to their own religion, and other religion will not get it. So they continue donkey years there are a lot of places, no light, no even water. They still drink water from the stream. So I hope you look onto on that. Also, next time you're coming to Canada, we'd like to see the First Lady, so that we will have women to mentor. Thanks.
That's a question for His Excellency to answer.
Okay, so I'm standing on the existing protocols. My question is around, the incident from the last election where we found out that some booths were not well covered by the Labour Party agents. So my question is, what strategies are you looking to put in place, like in the coming election, to make sure that there's a widespread of Labour Party agents? You're still going to be in Labour Party. Then are we hoping also to see like a collaboration or a merger with other political parties, because it's going to be very difficult for you to unseat the present government or the present administration. So this is my question. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I don't have question for Mr. Peter Obi. I just want to say thank you very much for giving Nigeria youth a lot of hope and encouragement. Thank you so much. May God bless you.
Hello, Your Excellency. Thank you for your presence here today. I just have a question in terms of what advice would you give Nigerian youths in the diaspora and at home, like in terms of they've lost hope based on everything. I know that we have the same sentiments as people, but what would you advise us in terms of how to support our community back home? Thank you.
This is a very good question. How many of you here know MC Danfo? MC Danfo? If you know him, you know why I'm doing what I'm doing.
No, it's for him.
Good evening. Thank you, Your Excellency. I have two prompt questions. The first one is a personal one. You've said a few things. One is about the criminal enterprise in Nigeria, about how difficult things are. I'm wondering, how do you keep going? Can you tell us what keeps you going in this work that you are doing, for which you're not being paid by anybody, but you've been doing it now for at least since 2021 or 2022, and you've persisted in doing it since after the election? So that's the personal question, what keeps you going? The second part is kind of policy related, and that has to do with the security situation in Nigeria. I just came back from Nigeria last week, and I couldn't travel between Owerri and Nsukka for security reasons. So are you able to tell us, not the detail, but give us some idea of maybe how you think you would have handled the security situation in Nigeria that is keeping people from moving and conducting even ordinary commerce? Thank you.
We can go to his responses now, to those questions. He's already answered one, which I have played you. But let's take on this.
And finally, we said, can't pick with your children, anarchy. I think you'll be.
The problem of the North is when
external influence. I don't need to lobby anybody. I can tell you that I went to several meetings. And finally, we said, can't pick with your children, anarchy. I think you'll be safe. The reason why we have insecurity today is because we didn't invest in our youth yesterday. It is those people that were left and abandoned that have become a problem to us. If we have invested in them, the right education, the right things, the North is far unsafe today than the South. Because they didn't invest in education. They didn't invest in training those people So if you leave these people abandoned, you are actually not saving your life. So what we're doing is investing in them to save our lives and for our children to live in a better society. Yes, you're in Canada. You live in a better society. But I can tell you, in terms of Nigeria, you're also one of the biggest losers because your children won't come back there again. They don't want to be associated. Who wants to go where there's insecurity? Somebody just said he could not go because they don't want him to go to Enugu. They want to go to... So if you don't go, do you think your children will ever go there? Do you think they'll come for your burial? No. I've heard people who say, listen, just bury my dad. I wish him well. So what you're doing is that you're investing in your future. And a youth asks me, what do I think about the youth? Yes, you're right. My advice to you is that you came from a country called Nigeria. Chinese people live in Canada, but they are proud to be called Chinese people. They have never abandoned China. They're still Canadian Chinese or Chinese Canadian, whatever you call them. Indians are here. They've never abandoned India. They're still proud to be saying, I'm an Indian. So are Vietnamese, so are Philippines, so are everybody. Everybody is still happy to say, I'm from here. And if your own is not bad, so you can, in your own little knowledge, and when we talk about capacity building, that's about capacity building. People say to me, what is about capacity building? It's using that knowledge you learn from here, that exposure, that belief, and translating into not thinking about his tribe or his religion. I can tell you, whenever people tell me about religion, what I tell them is, and I'm sure I've said it here in Canada, Dubai is thriving. If I go to Dubai, I'm a Christian, I'm a Catholic. I go to St. Mary's, I think St. Mary's Church in Dubai. The Catholic Church in Dubai, the land and the church was built by Emir of Dubai. It's written there. He gave them the land, built the church. So why is our own different? So it's even encouraging that diversity. It's even encouraging that situation because it makes society work. The biggest mosque in Europe, no, well, I don't know, maybe I'm correct, but one of the biggest is in London. It's a land given by the Queen. The Queen is not. So it is, why would it be? I'm not scared of anybody in Nigeria. I believe that we're same. I always introduce myself as a Nigerian. I don't believe there's any part of Nigeria that I don't love. We're Nigerians. For me today, I want to invest in the North. I believe we can pull Nigeria back from the North because they have all the resources. Our biggest cause of our inflation today is food. We have vast uncultivated land in the North. If we cultivate it, we can feed Africa. We can feed everybody. You see me in my tweets question why should Ukraine have more grain than Nigeria? Our land in the North is bigger than the entire Ukraine. Ukraine is about 603,000 square kilometers. And the northern Nigeria is bigger than Ukraine. So the youths, I urge you to be part of this change. It is necessary for us. Well, what do you advise?
Don't worry. But let's continue as well. I want you to listen to everything. But they're like short, okay? And mind you, have you liked this broadcast yet? Like, have you liked it? Like, go under the video and just... Now, if you haven't, please do, right? So let's get through to it. Here.
Labour Party agents were not in all the booths.
They are talking about the Labour Party not having agents all over the place. And what did he learn about that? He has this to say.
Labour Party agents were not in all the booths. I agree with you because we started, you know how we started and everything. There's so many lessons we learned. Somebody asked about lessons we're going to correct in the future. I won't stay here to tell you those lessons. Whether we are going to collaborate with people, if the need be, yes, of course. People, collaboration, I'm collaborating with you people. You are actually the biggest collaboration we need to be able to dismantle what I'm talking about. We're going to work with everybody who thinks the same way we think, who wants to do the same thing we're doing. Our collaboration will not be based on transaction. It will be based on transformation. People.
Okay, that's some wordplay. Transaction to transformation, not transaction, but transformation. Here is another part before the next one.
External influence. I don't need to lobby anybody. I can tell you that I went to several meetings outside Nigeria. Do Americans come to Nigeria when they are running an election? No. Do Canadians come to Nigeria? I will not go to any country. I'm a Nigerian. And I'm running to serve Nigeria. Why would I go and lobby anybody? I'm one person who says, if I'm in office, we will stop foreign aid. Because we don't need it. God gave us everything. We don't need to waste anybody's time. I said it today when I was in City Council. Nigeria have everything it needs to be a super country. God gave us everything. I don't need to go and lobby anybody. We'll just need to fold our sleeves and walk. It's as simple as ABC. We don't need anybody. I have governed the state. I didn't leave the state. Things were bad. Before I became governor of Anambra was known for bad references and everything. In fact, it was named Home for All. And I came and said, there's no place called Home for All. And we changed it to what? Light of the nation. And we said we'll be first in everything. No longer are we going to be used in bad reference. No quarrel, no nothing. And we face the work. Say from education, from health, from this, from that, fixing our small roads and everything. Somebody asked me today about it. I said, I didn't start any new road. Maybe one or two. That I fixed the ones that were existing. Completed the one my predecessors from Ngike to everybody started. That's what we should do. We don't need any influence. We want external relationship. In fact, let me tell you about international relationship. The more developed, the more you dig in and do the right things, the more you earn your respect internationally.
Yeah, that's true.
China didn't start by coming to beg America. Neither was Vietnam, neither was India. Today, yeah, it's being celebrated. These are countries few years ago that were stuck in underdevelopment. If you don't know, within what we're talking about China, India today, between year 2000, which was just yesterday, and year 2015, China put 439 million people out of poverty. India did 260 million out of poverty. Today, those two countries, the biggest in population combined, Nigeria is almost having more people in poverty than two of them. It cannot happen. All we need is to have people who are sincere and dismantle.
And the people who sincere, according to Obi, will change things. You see, there are people who believe that all we need, listen to me, all we need is just more million like that. There are 6 million. Obi's 6 or 10 million supporters. Okay? Because this one is like, we know it's pretty much like rigged as well, right? At least that is something you can touch, African Wahala. All right? That is enough to cause a total disruption. And I know a lot of you believe that Obi has a strong hold on his followers. No, he doesn't, but they respect him a lot. It was the first time that some of them were even surprised that they allowed them to put that such number, or they allocated such number to them. And that's why they continue to believe that Obi won the election. Now, that is all they need to get mad, get angry in one of these states. It's a base that is enough to scare the establishment, not to want to, they do not want them to erupt. Here you get that now, the African Wahala. So what that simply means is that whether he is posturing, whether he is unity begging, whether he's, whatever you like, you can say he's doing. As long as he can keep, as long as, number one, as long as he remains the symbol of the millions of all these obedience, that automatically makes them very valuable. And we must protect them like endangered species, like we protected the IPOB and everybody that believes in the ideology. Like we will have to protect the Yoruba nation advocates and everybody that believes in the ideology. Is that not what we do? And you see, every base, there are some base that these criminals have confidence that they could poke them anytime and nothing will happen. So far, so good. They've poked so many camps. And a lot of us are just waiting for the implosion. Is that not so? You know that we all need to be united on something because we all have something in common. And that is, we have the criminals who have sworn to keep us enslaved, oppressed this way because they believe there's nothing we can do. Now, when you have an active base, like that, active base like the obedience. So I would just kind of silently pray for them to get so mad and angry and arrest the guy. So in case if you don't know, because some of you sometimes you always want person make person use the mouth, you know, to use the mouth to say everything. When I tell you, leave them, don't target them. Don't let anybody use all this Igbophobia flying everywhere that some of you have swallowed, hook, line, and sinker. But you so much respect my face so much that some of you started feeling reformed. Because if you are to be allowed to say your mind based on all of the aids, divisive rhetoric that they have actually fed a lot of you from all platforms, especially during their Charade election. If you are allowed to say your mind about Yoruba, if not for Maiyegun, if they allow you to say your mind, that thing they don't feed you about the Igbos, if not for Maiyegun. I know a lot of you probably just have that respect that, okay, I won't say anything, Sha. It's because I won't say, I'll just, you know. So the bottom line there is that we want them to get provoked. May they arrest him. Imagine they arrest him, handcuff, like they did to Showore, or like they did to Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, or like they attempted to do to Igbo. Imagine they kind of put handcuffs on Obi and say they are charging him for treason because he's been inciting people. At that time, when Obi did no call to anything, like they have been saying, some of them are already saying it now, that if they burn Thiefnubu snuff his coke, may arrest Obi. You remember that time when some of them told us, Maiyegun, let me tell you something. Boys are ready. This election cannot be rigged. Maiyegun, if they rig this election, Nigeria will blow. Obi is winning. If anybody is rigging like that. When my people came back here, I'm not mocking you because you know yourself. You said that to me on this platform. Remember? But today, some of you don't want to say much anymore, right? But I'm not blaming you. I'm just saying that you do have an excuse when the man that is believed to have been robbed of your votes and all that says, calm down, we are going to court. So it's contradictory for people to go on now, Abi, and do something. So me, I want to keep them active. That's why you have to keep the obedient active. You have to help keep them active. Sure you get now. So if for some reason they provoke Thiefnubu and these power-drunk guys in Nigeria, and they say, arrest him, John, nothing will happen, because they don't talk and say, may they touch him now, may they arrest him. So that is why you should all know that we all have something in common. The criminals in charge of Nigeria have no tribe. They do not have any ethnic. They do not have any religion. At least if they did, they will have compassion. They will be compassionate towards, if they had tribes, they will be compassionate towards their tribe. If they have any ethnic allegiance, they will be compassionate to their own ethnic people, Abi. Or if they are religious people, they will be compassionate towards those of you who are religious, their religion. For everybody they collect inside Nigeria, even the witches and wizards, they don't spare them. You understand? So we all have one thing in common. Anything that will rob that contraption, I will vote for it. And you can call me any name. And that's why I won't use my platform to promote any voice that is looking for their vices, that is looking for their weaknesses, that any voice that think is opinionated about to be an obedient, you will keep it to yourself. Do you understand? Right. Now, second to the last part of this chart, he said,
and finally we said, will you keep contesting? Well, I can tell you, I'm not desperate to be president of Nigeria. I'm desperate to see Nigeria work. Because they can work. So, if I find those who can do it the same way, if I find those who can do it, what I do, of course I will encourage them. I've been part of a system that is working. I've seen systems work. What I want to see is Nigerians who don't. Have you wondered why Nigerians are so religious, yet things are going wrong? It's because they don't believe in God. They actually talk, but they don't believe in it. Because if they do, the story will be different. They will have conscience, they will have compassion, and they will do the right things. But I've seen people do the wrong thing consistently while preaching. So for me, it's not about me. It's about us. How do we get it to go right? It is not very difficult. Nations after nations have done that. Why can't we do the same thing? It's as simple as ABC. Tell me the problem you think is the greatest problem in Nigeria, and I tell you that it can be solved. Because we're not the first people who have solved it. We're not the first people who have victim of criminality. It was all over South, call it America, from Colombia to Mexico to this to Brazil and everything. It's been solved. We're not the first country to be immersed in poverty. It's been solved in other countries. So if they have done it, we're not the first country who did not have power. It's been solved in countries. Then everything. I was just quoting in Tanzania last week. If you follow my tweet, Tanzania last week had to shut down 5 of their facilities because they have overcapacity in electricity production. Tanzania, they shut down five facilities because they have overcapacity. They have more than they need. So what is wrong with us? That in 20, 30 years, we're stuck in one place because the establishment don't want us to go, and they root it in tribe. Is there any tribe that have electricity, my brother? No. Show me where they have 24 electricity, and we'll go there and live. So it's not a tribal thing. Or show me any religion where even a church that the electricity is 24 hours in Nigeria, church, and we all go there and worship. It is nonsense. We must dismantle this criminality that is today.
And I support that. And, everyone on his way. Because if this establishment of criminality, or criminal establishments continue to exist, it will continue to hold what do you call it? It will continue to work against our collective destinies. Remember that. But again, more take it a bit further. They asked him, why is it that those who said that Peter Obi, any small thing they will talk about Anambra, and then they turn it into Igbo, this, Igbo, that, okay? And they want to make you feel like the Igbo elites, they were the ones pushing Obi to come and be president. That's not real. And it's true that the number one enemies, supposed political enemies, who sees him as a bigger threat, is a guy that a lot of people hold in high esteem, So when he's among all other Eastern elites, he's given this special treatment, like he's better than them, he's not corrupt, he's this. So they don't like that. You understand? So, and he said why? He said why? Listen.
People to tell you, when I became governor, by influence of somebody called Professor ABC Osun, he asked me to go and see certain people. He's still alive. I said, I won't see them. I'm contesting to be governor of Anambra State, and I'm not from Anambra. And when I became governor, I used to quarrel with people who were not happy with me. If you know that the elites in Anambra, even till today, are not happy with me. And it's not that I know it, because I go to see a president then who tells me, Peter, nobody is happy with you. And I say, Mr. President, I didn't promise people happiness. I promised to fix school. I promised to fix school. I promised to fix health. I promised to, because the only thing that would have made them happy is to give them public money, which I'm not ready to give anybody. And that's it. So.
Also, the obedient. And to those of you who said that he's campaigning for 2027, so what is wrong in that? He is a politician. He is a one Nigerianist. He is meeting with the obedient that supported him in his elections. So what do you think the communication is going to be about? Well, I said he's currently on that thank you tour. Okay. Then he's coming to the UK. And to those the obedient in the UK, I think, I don't know when, right? But he is coming around here. And I believe it's going to be in another few days. Well, that's all that happened in Canada, ladies and gentlemen. Canada, the Canadian obedience, as well as their powers all over the world, including those of you who are here on this platform. That is what happened in Canada last night. Let's go to what happened in Nigeria yesterday, where a doctor, but before I go to that, Princess, which of your sons is having his birthday today, so I can send happy birthday to him? I know he's not Adnan, and I've spoken to the Adnan before. So if you give me the name, I can send a happy birthday to the women. Last week, Nigeria Thiefnubu announced, well, it's about 2 weeks now. They announced increase in electricity tariff, meaning people have to pay more. Since things have become more expensive, the distribution companies in Nigeria, electricity companies in Nigeria, they could no longer run efficiently on the charges, on the old charges. Thank you, African Wahala. And thanks to every one of you with your super chat too. Thanks for your generosity. Right. Now, look at this of before this APC, before they came to power in Nigeria, okay? Nigeria was reported to be generating about 8,000 megawatts of electricity. No, Nigeria is not a giant of Africa, so forget about that. That's just some fables that people put out there is wrong. It's a lie, okay? Anyway, the giant of Africa, or the giant of Africa, was generating about 8,300 megawatts of electricity in 2015. Then APC happened to Nigeria. APC, the dream killers. They generated 0 megawatt of electricity in 9 years. 0. They added 0 megawatt of electricity to the national grid in 9 years. But they will tell you that they built, Bukwari built 365 megawatt of Kinikon. But Baba, these guys met electricity generation in Nigeria at 8,300 megawatts as degenerated. 9 years after, they are bragging that Nigeria is now generating 4,000 megawatts. Back then, Nigeria was sharing over 4,000 megawatts of electricity when they were generating 8,000. 4,000 was wasted, just wasting away, because Nigeria didn't have enough infrastructure to transmit all those generated power. However, when APC, Egbeke came in, the Nigerian electricity national grid started collapsing like someone suffering from epilepsy. No cure. At the end of the day, it has now gotten so reduced. You see the screen, you see the picture on your screen, right? So 2 weeks ago, they now announced that, well, with the little they are generating, no intention of increasing it because there's no money. You're going to need $10 billion annually before you can generate stable electricity in Nigeria, according to Adelabu Peculiar Mercy, Penkele Mercy, your Minister of Darkness. Since there is no 10 billion, then the rest of you will just have to pay for whatever it is. Give me a second. I think I have lost. Hang on, no. There's so many things I've lost. I shouldn't have left on without putting their, putting the chargers on them. Sorry about that. Again, right? So it's going to take them 10 billion. Hang on, no. It's going to cost you $10 billion to have electricity 24/7. Since there is no $10 billion annually, then whatever is left, everybody just use that like that. So they increase the tariff. Band A, band B, band C, band D, band E, band F, band G, band H, band I, band J, even band Z. Those who get electricity for 1 hour once in a year, they are band Z. So people started complaining that, oh man, which kind, like, third world country where people are paying the price of a first world country for electricity that they don't even get. I never thought that the what do you call it? I never thought that the hospitals. Give me a second. I never thought that the hospitals will become a target as well until this doctor raised an alarm. I want you to hear him so that at least he will be in his own words. For those of you who are still currently shouting, some of you just pray, say, for Siko. The way Nigeria, I've said this 1 month ago, that the way the situation in Nigeria right now, do everything to make sure that you don't fall sick. No go get malaria. Any mosquito will won't bite you, anyhow, hold on for neck. Because, Baba, if you go fall sick and you ended up in the hospital, if you don't come back home, if you don't come back to your house again, small thing can just kill you. And that's what that doctor is saying. If you get there and you are unable to even afford the, unable to afford the treatment, or the hospital itself is probably not really, capable to even save you, because all they have has been spent on electricity. About how much is 25 million naira in dollars? That should be somewhere around $20,000. Baba, why would anybody charge $20,000 a month on an essential service provider like an hospital? Baba, I don't understand though. But this is what the doctor had to say. And I don't know if it's exaggerated or not, but it is an issue that calls for concern. Call from your own stable, right? What do you think?
That transmission line is a super highway. For generated electricity and power. They could not even make a down payment for a roasted corn. That transmission
So there's no electricity. But whatever is left, Kolu, they will squeeze you until you will shududun. You know? You will shududun. So ya kika me shududun. Emma shududun. But first, listen to this man.
An epidemic, I call it right now, is bound to destroy the healthcare system of this country. Come to think about a hospital. PHED sent us a letter stating that by reason of us being in Band A, our monthly power bill is now coming up to 25,300,000 every month. That's crazy. Hospital is not business center. Hospitals are rendering essential services to the society. We're already struggling with the doctors leaving the country. Majority of healthcare system struggling as it were. I don't know where that all come, but I can state here that if nothing is done and done urgently to revisit that decision, I can put it to you that Band A epidemics in the hospitals will turn most hospitals into morgue. It could not be an epidemic, unfortunately, could have been said to be preventable.
So please do explain to me how you think the hospitals are at a greater risk with the issue of Band A. In the manner you say to turn them into morgues.
No. See, it's quite clear. Let's take the business dimension, the frustrating dimension of business out of it. Power is the life of healthcare delivery. When the light is in a hospital, patients have a sense of hope of living again. In addition to that, majority of emergency drugs and anesthetic drugs all maintain what they call coaching. Okay. There's a particular temperature. As a matter of fact, most drugs, if I should make it clear here, there's a temperature for these drugs to be. But if this decision is done, as the Business Day newspaper reported that 20% of the hospitals are already shutting down, and this decision again on to strain the hospital the more, it will come to a point where most of these drugs will be in a state, as is already happening. Most time a diabetic patient will have an insulin given. You won't see any effect. Most probably, the protein content of it has already been denatured because there is no power to preserve them. I witnessed something in the course of my medical engagement where an elderly woman was to be operated. The anesthetist gave propofol, a certain volume, otherwise you make a woman to be able to relax. And the anesthetist asks, "Madam, how are you?" The woman said, "I'm fine." The anesthetist increased the dose to be able to see if this woman should be able to sleep or not. "Mama, how are you?" He said, "I'm fine." Everybody looked at each other. Was it that the woman is alcoholic to have been able to resist such a... The anesthetist increased the dose a little more and said, "Mama, how are you?" The woman said, "I'm fine. Is there any problem?" Everybody said, "Mama, get down. It is time. Let's be able to revisit." Only after evaluation, it was found that even though the drug was original, but not well preserved. That is to say, those that are diabetic in Nigeria currently should brace up, because majority of them that are insulin dependent will see no way to buy the drugs. So, matter of fact, they have to travel miles, maybe to get a hospital that may have a steady light to be sure of what they're taking. It's going to be a disaster. While this Band A is on, teaching hospitals and federal medical centers used to enjoy some relative form of life. Because perhaps they are not going to pay like other people, they are now downgrading them to Band B, so that it will channel the energy to the people they feel that can pay, to the detriment of the health of the people. I can count on and on. Power is what determines whether a surgical procedure will be successful or not successful. It determines the before and after, the outcome of any surgery. If the instruments are not properly sterilized, it is signing a death sentence for Our people, if nothing is done to stall this development right now, the society should brace up for what is called nosocomial infection that will be acquired from the hospital, and the type that may come up may be one that will be resistant to all antibiotics we know. That even when we start getting it right, the worst had already happened. Something has to be done right now to stall the possible mutation of those organisms by reason of being allowed in an environment of no power. My heart wrecked when a teaching hospital could pack their own instruments to go and sterilize in another because they don't have light. Who taught this? That's what I'm actually worried about. What is the level of consultation for which you look at something from economic indices, perhaps of an interested individual or group, to override the health of the people of this country? No, you see, most times we look at our little privileges in life, being in government or being in a position of financial empowerment. The day emergency will come, you will not know where you will be. That's why I look at it's a stone thrown into the market. It's gonna hit hard, and it is something preventable as it is now.
So aside the hospital or the healthcare delivery system, how does this Band A issue affect other businesses across Nigeria?
See, this is beyond business analysis. It is no doubt that such decision will affect the small and medium scale enterprises. Just come to think about this. A hospital with a NEPA, or what you call power bill, of over 25 million per month, that hospital has to pay the salary of the staff. It has to buy drugs, disposable, that the cost at the moment are triple because of the dollarization of our economy. You also have to maintain these equipment, sensitive equipments, and as well, for those that have had some form of facility from the bank, we also have that responsibility to go. And at the end of the day, this is seen to be a sustainable venture. This is not a job. This is not about money. This is not about profit. This is not about business. If a mechanic has a problem with your car, you look for another spare parts. A lawyer, the worst you can get from any lawyer is to go to jail. But when it has to do with healthcare, come on. If anything goes wrong, you're endangering the family, you're endangering the society in general by the value of that individual. That's why I'm making a passionate appeal to Mr. President, to the Honorable Minister of Power, executives of Jinkos and Discos, and even the
we are going to die. Don't panic. We're all going to die. You know something is this, the ripple effects of this whole thing at the end of the day, like I promised, like I said earlier, don't fall sick. Even with your money, we're going to die. Because you are now more exposed to substandard health care system that is dying slowly. And a lot of you who are insulin users, for diabetics. See, let me tell you something. If you are healthy, you have no idea what, you don't, I don't know how to describe it. I don't want to say you don't know what God has done for you, but maybe I should say that. You don't know what God has done for you. You have a headache, you take paracetamol, headache gone. There are people that they are still living right now. It's like burning money. It's like somebody, it's like people packing money like that, and then you go to the drum where there is fire and you start blowing it there. And you have to, if you want to stay alive. These people are exposed to fake adulterated drugs. Also, they are exposed, even standard medical facilities. With your money, you are exposed to contaminated medical equipment. Somebody said, Nigerians will never chop balanced diet. You are talking about surgery. Whether you are eating well or not, every one of us will need medical care. We're all going to have that. Some are going to be like, extreme. Some are going to be mild. And, health is wealth. And it doesn't tell you when it's going to shut down. If your body shuts down and your money cannot save you, you should be worried. So this is my own reaction when that man was talking about this. As we're all going to die. That's the feeling. And this one is not about whether you are rich or poor. Use your sense here. Once your medical, and see Nigeria, they like to cut corners to save costs. It is ridiculous. And this is just the beginning. Fellow Nigerians, this is just the beginning.
Fellow Nigerians, this is just the beginning.
So let's go to the next one. This is the governor of Bokwari's state in Katsina. Remember that, I think it was last week as well, or last weekend. So the news then was that northern governors traveled all the way to America to go and discuss the insecurity of lives and properties in northern Nigeria. And they've been receiving backlashes since then. Like, why would you go to America and hold a meeting because of insecurity in northern Nigeria? Does that even make any sense? But here is Bokwari's governor from Katsina State. He defended it. Oh, sorry, he's defending it. Maybe you should listen, if you don't mind.
Thank you so much, Your Excellency, for your time tonight. My question earlier is that are there political motivation for the rise of banditry in the the northwestern region of the country? Who are those that are backing or supporting or fueling banditry in the region? Your Excellency, can you hear me?
Yes, please, can you repeat yourself?
All right, so I'm saying, my question is, who are there those who are backing and politically motivating banditry in the northwestern region?
Thank you very much. There are so many insinuations as to what causes the banditry in our region, but to me, and to my understanding and from the little knowledge I have, being the governor of the state for almost a year now, I understand that the issue of the hypothesis behind political motives about banditry is not true. I think purely what causes banditry in our place, the root cause of it was injustice. There were a lot of injustices that were done on the planet, which causes this problem to spring over time. This thing has been with us for a very long time, and it has started small, and it has grown big now. And then there are some collaborators from the houses who are staying within the towns, who are serving as the providers of logistics to those bandits. But the issue of the hypothesis behind there is some foreigners involved, there are some people from the foreign land that are coming to inflict this thing on our people is purely a political statement by some people who just want to use that as a political goal to them. In the issue of security, then secondly, what also causes the recruitment under the logistic services for the bandit was as a result of poverty. Because surprisingly, with 2,000, 5,500 naira, you can be able to convince some of the youth to join into this exercise, which brings about money. And now it has turned out to be a business venture for the criminals and the business venture for also some people who are in government and some people who are in the security outfit and some people who are being responsible for day-to-day activities of their people. Because these are so many reasons why that this banditry were unable to bring an end to it. Because you may not know who among those people that are surrounding you. It may be your driver, it may be your houseboy, it may be your blood brother, it may be your father, it may be your younger brother. So it can be anybody. Because we have caught so many people who are saddled with responsibility for people involved in this criminality. So this is something that is making it.
Thank you so much.
Nuisance Lele. Nuisance Lele.
Is God not wonderful? That terrorist called governor could come on a TV, call the Fulani terrorists bandits, then turned around and accused Hausas. Some Hausas are also helping them. Helping who? Fulani terrorists, but he called them bandits. That madman said the reason for the increase in terrorism in the Northwest, Northeast, and the entire Nigeria is because of injustice. That is the reason why the Fulani are terrorizing us. It's because of injustice. So they call them bandits. They don't want to call them Fulani terrorists. Because the person talking there is a Fulani. Okay? So, and this terrorism, the guy is building excuses for the terrorists. Okay? By pointing fingers everywhere. But themselves, they are the real sponsor for the year. So he said it's injustice. The Igbos, like every one of us outside the Fulanis, we are all victims of injustice. Baba, we no carry gun, they kill people, okay? He said it is because of poverty. Is there any part of Nigeria today that is not witnessing poverty? So the Fulanis, their own way of fighting poverty is to start killing us and kidnapping us for ransom because of poverty. The reasons why the Fulani and the Fulani terrorists and their sponsor, the reason why they are kidnapping us for money and killing some of us is because of injustice. And that's what they do all the time. They tell you, listen, what happened is that, you see, there are so many long-time injustice against the Fulanis. There are so many long-time poverty with the Fulanis. And that is why they are doing all of this. How come the Ogoni people are not killing us all over Nigeria now? How about the Jaw people, the Yoruba people, the people of from that same Niger Delta that is laying the golden goose, laying the golden egg, that is feeding these criminals? How come the Jaws are not coming around to kidnap all of us? Because at least they get the crude oil, but they know they smell them or taste them. How come that the Middle Belt sons, how come they did not form their own militia and start kidnapping and killing all of us all over Nigeria? Because they have been unjustifiably targeted and completely abandoned to their own faith by the criminals who are supposed to protect them. So that's a good reason to say, that's why we want to kill everybody in Nigeria. It's only Fulanis that will tell you that the reason why they are killing others, the reason why they are terrorizing Nigeria is because of injustice. It's because of poverty. Injustice from who? But that's their belief anyway. So they do have those who believe in that too. It's unfortunate, though. But anyway, they went to America because they felt like Nigeria can't really protect them, or Nigeria has no solution. Thiefnubu has no plan, like Bukwari. So that's why they went to America to go and discuss the insecurity in northern Nigeria. I don't know if they came back with any solution. Those are the clowns in charge of the contraption. And that's why I'm not going to be your fan. If you are one of those who keep shouting, Nigeria will be great, I say, go sit down, I come, I won't see front. Sit down, you say, we need to be patriotic. Nigeria will be great. Shoshik will find. See, turn left. Go right. I'll see front. There's no way it can. When some are doing everything they can to keep it in that bondage. Unfortunately. Talking about bondage and people continue to be victims of the criminals who are only more interested in themselves. Coastal highway of Deported and the matters arising. Let's leave landmark for now. Let's talk to those who are like the real owners, the indigenous people of the place that they have continually taken away from them, and those they want to kick out right now because of their coastal highway. And they know that it's not because of any coastal nonsense, okay? Because if truth should be told, right, it's pure about a land grab. And they know it too. So Deported was putting up a show called the Stakeholders Meeting or something, where he was presenting checks to the supposed people that will be affected, whose property will be affected by their coastal highway. So I love this lady, this Arise lady. Met a few of the families who attended the Humayi's Charade show. Baba, your coastal road, if they post the picture like the Nigeria here, you better save them because it will always remain in the picture. Do you understand? Baba, I didn't know that Nigeria get islands. Well, we don't know about that place plenty. When I say Nigeria, I'm talking about Nike, you know, using the context of a whole place now, okay? But you see this their coastal road that they said is going to Calabar. Going to the creeks. I'll tell you this one. Oh. It is a 740 or so kilometer. You see this one where you hear about Lagos, Now Lagos be the easiest part. Nigeria, this Niger Delta Creek, Omo Island Day. You know what is called island? You see where you see water, body of water, no land. And then you just see small, shining island on top water. It's called island. There are some smaller islands in that along. Once you begin to pass Ondo, Thiefnubu will need to listen to this. Thiefnubu will need to construct in some places. They will need to construct, you know, bridge or bridges that will be like as long. You know that third mainland bridge in Lagos. That third mainland bridge built by Babangida in Lagos. See how that is. I think it's a 5 kilometer. How many kilometer? So how many kilometers is third mainland bridge? Help me. Anyway, whatever kilometer it is, there are places where their coastal road is expected to pass that will actually be like third mainland bridge times 3 size of third mainland bridge. They will build a stretch of highway bridge that will be like 3 times the stretch of the third mainland bridge. Do you think Thiefnubu has such plan? Okay. Whatever it is, for Lagos part, these people are not happy because they believe this is a scam to take their land. And they are not happy. But it seems that there's nothing they can do. So listen.
No alignment. Sir, thank you very much for joining me. What are your thoughts on the new alignment that's been announced?
We are not happy with the new alignment. Originally, there is a plan from the Lagos state government. The coastal road has been planned. as far back as 2006. So I don't know the reason why should the Federal Ministry of Works now come and have a new alignment in which is going to affect the whole community of Okwaja.
Someone from your community mentioned earlier in the stakeholders meeting that the new alignment is also just going to run through several ancestral homes. Yes. So can you expatiate on this a bit more?
You see, let me tell you one thing. This when we are talking about the coastal alignment, the village has been there for, I can say, from century, and now the village is now going to be furnished with this new alignment, which is not okay for us. We are not happy with it.
So what are you expecting the federal government to do now?
We want the federal government to maintain the usual place which the Lagos state have already approved for the coastal road.
And if the federal government don't do that?
They don't do it. We have a new alignment now, which...
No, I'm asking, if they don't maintain that original alignment that you want them to maintain, what will your response be if they don't?
We don't know what is going to happen when our village is going to be no more existing.
Thank you very much for speaking to us. Thank you all very much. So as you can see, there are several people here today who are aggrieved by the decision to change the coastal alignments, but the federal government continues to say that it's in the best interest of Nigeria and they're doing the best that they can. Compensation is expected for people affected even beyond the first 3 kilometers. The compensation that was handed out today is just the first bit of compensation. So it is going to be ongoing. Very soon I'm going to be heading down to communities past Landmark to see if any demolitions may continue to take place today and what's going on, because as we know, this is moving very quickly.
Leila, thank you so much for your commitment to this story. It's such an important development. Now, I understand that you had the opportunity, unfortunately, we were technically down at the time, you had the opportunity to ask the minister a question. Can you shed a little bit more light on the interaction that you had with Minister Dave Umahi during the stakeholders Q&A?
Absolutely. Well, to ask a question as much as he would let me, I had to ask the minister about the environmental impact assessment for this project. Now, according to the EIA Act of 1992, no project of this nature can be carried out without an approved environmental impact assessment, and it's the Federal Ministry of Environment that approves the assessment once it's been submitted. Now we understand that the ESIA for this particular project is in the works. What the minister is trying to say is that they have preliminary approval but not final approval. Now, I haven't seen anything with regards to preliminary and final approval in the EIA Act of 1992. Maybe I need to go back and do my own research, but to the best of my knowledge as it stands, you cannot start a project without an approved EIA, and that's what it looks like. However, people on the ESIA team did come up to me after that interaction and they said that they would share information with me going forward. So let's see what they do share, because it's important that if they do have any source of approval, the media has access to that, because as it stands right now...
Thank you, Jare Leila. You are doing your best, okay? But when it comes to those who are like land grabbers, they don't see compassion, they don't see humanity, they don't have anything of such. It is all about what they want to take. Everything else is inconsequential to them. A lawless society where rule of law doesn't exist, but rule of man or rule of men. And you want to have a country. You can keep dreaming that. So that's on the side, okay? Somebody sent me this. I don't know if you don't mind listening, right? Some of our people that escaped. Some of our people that escaped or got released, after being kidnapped in the Shagamu area. I just received that while we are here. And it is the audio recording of the 2 people that were released and what they were told. Is in Yoruba. I'm coming back to it. Before we talk about the recent victims of the kidnappings in Shagamu, Ogun State, very next to my town, Odogbolu, maybe we should spare time and sympathize with Shan George, whose 3-point-something million naira has been wiped off our bank accounts. Nigeria is a place where dog eats dog, you know, and here is a victim that probably will never believe she will be a victim. Now she need help. Shan George, she's an actress, by the way.
Cecilia Chigozie Okoro, that's the name of the person that has just wiped all the money in my account, 3.6 million, into an OP account. I'm begging everybody, please, any bank, OP, I beg, make una help me. I take go beg una. I don't have any kobo anywhere again. What will I eat? I know if you beg, I beg una, I'm gonna help me anybody. EFCC, police, Nigerian police, I beg. I don't know the authorities, Zenith Bank, I'm begging you people, please. This just today, 3rd of May. This today, so 3rd of May 2024. It's not even up to an hour ago from now that I'm doing this video. I beg you people, please. Help me from OP, please. Help me reverse the money. 3.6 million, please. That's everything I have in my whole life. I don't get food for my house to chop now. I beg you people. Check my previous posts for the evidence. The phone number of the person I chatted with is a verified WhatsApp number. Please, MTN, all the people involved, EFCC, I beg you guys, I'm on my knees. Please help me, please. Reverse the money, please. I did not authorize it.
And that's what Nigeria does to you. It's unfortunate that she has to use the social media to seek help. Because apart from that, she won't get that dime back. And Nigerians who are also like criminally minded, they were already there. So now only 3.6 million you get for bank. So why are you crying? Are you not an actress? Go and call this the sugar daddy now to give you the money back. Somebody who is smarter already don't move the money. A criminal enterprise, a contraption that is breeding criminals, a place where people normalize abnormalities. And if you get swindled or cheated, you are not smart. Okay? So for those who have become smart people, criminals, there are also those that will join you and condemn the political criminals, the elite that are looting Nigeria. They will say, why don't you go and face the politician? My friend, leave all these Yahoo boys alone, Charade. Yahoo boys is only trying to get back what they stole from our forefathers. That's what they say. They are forefathers. But now, when dog can't they eat dog now? So Shan George forefathers also enslaved your forefathers. Yeah, it is a place where abnormalities is normalized. And I hope, like African Wahala said, on your former crush, Shan George, I hope she gets all the help that she needs and gets her money back. Okay? That's an example of what Nigeria is and how it can be and happen to you when you least expect it. Nobody is safe. Nobody. Elite and the rest, nobody is safe. You will end up as a victim if you continue to enable a criminally society thinking you are immune. Nobody is immune from all of this. I think any more surgery and Timmy.
Àwọn kẹ̀lọ́ kúlẹ̀ yìí 3,500 lọ́ta gàrí ìkẹ́ ọ̀dà kan á lọ pọnmi láàárọ̀ yìí omi tọ́lọ́pọ̀ rẹ̀ bá fọ ẹ̀yọ̀kan 15 naira kí ló dé ìṣàánú wa wọ́n ní jàgàbá ni ìṣàánú wa ọ̀rẹ́ kúndùn lówó lọ́wọ́ ìṣàánú wa àlè rọmọ skul public dog là ń rọmọ wa kí ló dé má pa wá Nàìjíríà igi ọkọ sí mo lọ rà láàárọ̀ wọ́n ní 300 kí ló dé ráìsì 30 tàbí 210 ní 2,100 ẹ̀tún tẹ̀yẹ̀ ní 2,250 kí ló dé ní rẹ̀sì pọ̀ 70,000 kí ló dé ẹ ṣàánú wa o tó bá yẹ ní Jagaban wọ́n lè ra mọ̀tínà nígbà kẹsẹ̀ mi tẹ̀dúró rẹ ní ìdìnnà igi ẹni wọ́n ní 500 naira kí ló dé ẹ̀jẹ̀ ṣàánú ọmọ mẹ̀kúnnù ẹ fẹ́ pa wá ní before I get 1,000 naira is not easy I have 5 children kí ló dé fẹ́ pa wá ní àwọn ọmọ mi ò lè bu gàrí kọ́ mọ́ gàrí ẹ ṣàánú wa ẹ má pariwo Jagaban àwọn ọ̀rẹ́ wọn lájọ́ nira wọn lára kí ló dé mo ti bọ́kọ mi jà for the past 2 years now nítorí pé kò mọ̀ wọ ọ̀bẹ̀lẹ̀ ni mo ṣe bọ́kọ mi jà kò certify báyìí mi dédé ó jẹ́ ìbéèrè pé sẹ́ẹ̀sì ẹ tí wọ́n náà ṣe máa gbogbo sílẹ̀ ṣé máa gbogbo sílẹ̀ ṣàánú wà tí kò bá wọ àwọn olówó wá sí ọlọ́wọ́ ajẹ́ káwọn olówó fi rà kí ló dé àwọn adájọ́ lówó ńkọ́ kí tó ní 1,000 naira èdè máa ṣe báyìí kí ló dé ẹ̀jẹ̀ ṣàánú wà kẹ́wàá ká má fara nira wa lára ká má fara mo sọ ní part iná wọ̀ látàlẹ́ àná títí di àárọ̀ yìí títí di after 5 wọ́n jẹ́ tàbá fòmí kan fún wa ní 500 naira ní 50 naira kí ló dé ẹ ṣàánú wa o ẹ ṣàánú wa o.
I understand, Jari and Timmy. She's raging because things are becoming too expensive. Now, everybody, they collect as we speak. They are selling the firewood, bunch of firewood for 500 naira from 300. The pepper she bought, she grinded that with so much money that it's almost like nothing in the bowl. Her husband, well, she says she's left her husband, but what's the point, right? The man is only there, just to knock. Every other responsibility she's left to it, and she was like, how could I continue to actually open my legs for a man that cares not to provide for me? I told you that the situation in Nigeria has broken families, relationship. Some of you will listen to me and laugh, because it's true. You have no idea how many relationships that this hardship, this spread, this widespread multi-dimensional poverty, you have no idea how many relationships it has destroyed. About Johnson, no be your wife they go so. Ooh. Daddy Johnson, no be your wife they go so. Now, Mommy Johnson, they see so where they talk to that man there. See, listen, I have prayed to God to separate me from Shaitan. She's not my wife anymore. People are breaking, homes are breaking into, right? I mean, homes are going into places because men are no longer unable to really meet their regular responsibility. Auntie is screaming there. That nobody should say it's Jagaba, it's Jagaba, it's Jagaba. Kilo day, you want to kill us, ni? Kilashe. What is all this? Auntie? That one is on the side, okay? Just like that of Shan George. This one don't laugh because, as usual, Nigeria happened to this family when they least expect it. 2 hours to leave your property. That will soon go up in rumbles, like in dust. How do you handle things like this?
Happening right now at Mende Villa 1. Mende Villa 1. Happening right now. 2 hours to pack out. 2 hours. That was what the Lagos State government gave. 2 hours to pack out. And they are here, they are demolishing. Mende Villa. This is in Maryland. 2 hours, oh. Now they give us to take back out. 2 hours. This is in Nigeria we are in. No. 2 hours they gave to pack out of us. Where do we want to put all these things to? Look, these are our property. Not only us, so many people. The vehicles everywhere. Packing. 2 hours. 2 good hours. Nigeria, my country. People are jagbaing. They said they should not japa. 2 hours, Lagos State. God God bless you now. God God bless you now.
So when you see people leaving Nigeria, a lot of you think it's because they don't love Nigeria, or better still, it is because they are going out there to go and look for greener pasture. Oh, a lot of you are not living in reality. A lot of you are not. The damages done to Nigeria by APC, Egbekegbe, which has touched everyone, is so deep and so huge that people, successful people, they are selling everything they have in Nigeria and they were living. They are living. People are not trying to go and look for 9 to 5 anywhere. And why? Your investment is not safe. Your life is not safe. Your family is not safe. Nothing is really protected. You are on your own. This hour, you are a landlord. The next one, you are homeless. And it is the real thing. That's how it works. And when it happens to you, you are on your own. So if you have a chance of, and people are now like, oh, I need to go and do something about the future of my children. This is not about, I want to build house, I want to buy cars anymore. So those things will become nothing. They have become nothing now. So people are now more like, how do I secure the future of my children where they can at least exist in a peaceful way? And they will pay anything to do that. Nigeria's loss. They will pay anything to do that. They are paying so much money. They are paying so much money on education. All just they want to get out of that place. It's Nigeria loss. So they should continue. So those of you who are abroad, I am talking about those of you who once thought you were going back to that contraption to go and invest. A lot of you are already having second thought now, by the way. I'm not asking you not to go and invest in that place, okay? Just be careful where you put your money. All right? So that you don't end up having to probably pay for something that is going to end up affecting your health. Because you won't be able to handle it. And that's what Nigeria is. That's what those criminals have turned Nigeria into. And as for those ones, they've already impoverished. That will likely ever amount to anything. The way these guys have already schemed the entire system. Millions of all those who probably will defend them for destroying people's lives and properties. Majority of them will never amount to anything. They have been reduced to that nothingness. And some of them just probably prefer. What's that? Give me a sec.
Olenya, Yaya Bello, Olenya, Yaya Bello, 80.2 billion, you squander RAM, 1.1 billion, just for school fees, God go punish you, Ogun go kill you, Ole Buruku, Ole Werenye, Olenya, Yaya Bello, Olenya, Yaya Bello, Olenya.
Let's continue to remind the children, in case if your children come across my video, I want them to be singing Yaya Bello, Olenya, so that when Yaya Bello repackage himself, because that's what they do. Nigeria is a criminal or a crime scene. It's a criminal's den. So it's only criminals that could actually access power majorly in that contraption. Sure, you guys. So you need to play to your children and let your children continue to say Olenya. So don't turn around and begin to say our heroes past. God, our heroes past shall never be in vain. What the hell? Your heroes past are criminals. Have you checked? You don't have any heroes past in that contraption. If you begin to take a look at those they call your heroes, you will realize that they are actually like criminals. And it's because they come from Nigeria. So since criminals are your rulers, okay? So it's probably not a crime to be a criminal in the contraption called Nigeria. So we need to kind of say it to our children so that they don't join and grow up and begin to sing the praise of career criminals, destiny killers, dream killers. That's who your criminal politicians are. Dream killers. So you tell me that those of you who think it's poverty that is making people leave, you are naive. A lot of people want a peaceful existence. Then somebody said, but what is now going to happen if all of us just leave? All of us are never going to leave. Stop making it look like people are always going to be leaving. People are going to leave. People are going to go back. People are going to leave. People are going to go back. All of us can never leave. And that is why those who knows that, you see, you've got nowhere to go to. You've got nowhere to japa to or escape to. So you either put your hands up and wait to be killed or die. Or you roll up your sleeves and say, well, if I'm gonna, I don't say they will kill me, no. If malaria don't kill me, you see, this hypertension will kill me because this economy, that one is enough for me to have high blood pressure. And if high blood pressure don't kill me, if it be police bullet, because last, we are all just waiting to be killed anyway. So you that knows that you have nowhere to japa to, you roll up your sleeves and say, if I go die, I go die. But if I want to die, I want to die for a reason. Until you all get to that stage where you be like, I don't get anywhere to japa to, right? There's no japa to anywhere. I've not got anybody that's going to come and become a Jesus Christ for me, lay down their life. And I know that I'm going to be killed anyway, or kidnapped, or anything. So while I'm waiting, I'm not going to just wait and die. I'm going to stand up for something. And that is why we are doing what we are doing. None of us can really stop those who will japa, because those who can afford japa will japa. What about those who can't? Do they have to just settle for this? No, they can't. So don't worry yourself about people japa. If you want to japa, japa. If you have any means of japa, japa, because your japa self will be blessing. Do you know that if all of you we don't japa, all of us we don't japa? If we decide that we want to give 1%, I'm sorry, we want to give we want to give maybe 5%. 5% of the money we remit back into Nigeria to subsidize the country. They want to use that to take over the establishment of that contraption and pieces it into pieces. Just 5% of that. Do you know how much is the 5% of what we send to Nigeria? $2.5 billion. Do you know how much that is? A year. Imagine you have an organization that is giving funding to all the groups standing up and resisting these criminals in Nigeria, like a very massive body, where you could just say, oh, revolution now. Take $2 million for all your campaigns, all your advocacy and everything. $2 million. So thank you so much. Universal diaspora against the establishment. We can call it that. United diasporans against criminal politicians in Nigeria. And you say, oh, IPOB. IPOB for self-rule. Take $5 million to promote your advocacy. A year will give you $5 million. Yoruba Nation, okay, we'll give you $5 million for the advocacy of Yoruba Nation. Get lawyers, have that, do everything you have to do and all of that, $5 million. And you look at every other group like that, I say, okay, yeah, we'll give you $20 million. That is what they do in America. And that is why when people put their money where their mouth is, then you have an influence, you have a push, and you can change anything. Imagine if all of us with this diasporas be like that. So if you want to japa, japa, because whether I tell you not to or tell you to, none of it is going to actually change anything. Here you get. So if you want to japa from Nigeria, japa, leave. Because, you know, that means those who are left, they are still in their hundreds of millions. You understand? So if it be that your money, if it be that your thing that you will now make outside, that will help us, we don't usually probably need you physically. So once we get to that stage, there are people knows that they don't have anywhere to japa to, and they can't japa, and these people are going to kill them with the right support. With the right support, we will move and shift the ground. So we're not giving up, okay? So for those who still have their properties in that contraption, well, you don't say, Mr. I get properties for that place, right? And they have been threatening me. They want to take this, they want to take that. They want to take my land, they want to take this. They are threatening me, they want to kill me, they want to... All this nonsense are happening because you have a lawless country that doesn't believe in any rule of law. And any country where don't get rule of law, we are all victims, including those that are misrunning or mismanaging that contraption. Everybody's going to be a victim at the end of the day. So it's either we save ourselves. Say, if you don't kill APC, APC will kill every one of us. And everything that will kill us is what they will do. And that's why you have to do your best as well to bond and not break. Don't hate the obedient. You may not like everything about them. It's okay. It's all right not to like people. At the same time, you have a lot in common. And you have a lot. I mean, you have one thing in common as well, which is the establishment want us all dead, gone, never to be a threat. So what would then be our purpose? Is it going to be when you become a victim that you're going to listen to me or listen to yourself? Eh? Okay, I'll leave it at that. It's been a long time I had a 3 straight hours broadcast, so I just did that again tonight. I hope you enjoyed it. Usually we'll take calls. I bet you there are so many of you who prefer me just sit down here and just do my thing. No calls. And there are also many of you who prefer the calls. But tonight is an exception. No calls, no nothing, but we still had our 3 full hours. Enjoy the rest of your evenings from all over the place that you're watching from. Okay, like my broadcast, subscribe to my channel, and next time when I'm here, that will be the 2 of us. Thank you. And Princess, happy birthday to the young man. Oh, probably I'll call you and say that. Good night, everyone.
Maiyegun làwa mọ̀ làmọ̀ tó dòdòdò. Maiyegun Diary, Maiyegun #1. Maiyegun làwa mọ̀ làmọ̀ tó dòdòdò. Maiyegun Diary, Maiyegun #1. Maiyegun ti dé o, ọ̀rẹ́ ará ìlú. Maiyegun Diary, Maiyegun #1. Lórí Facebook, lórí YouTube. Maiyegun Diary, Maiyegun #1. Gbogbo bó ṣe ń lọ ni Maiyegun já wa sí. Maiyegun Diary, Maiyegun #1. Àṣírí ọ̀jẹ̀lú kì í bò níbẹ̀ o. Maiyegun Diary, Maiyegun #1. Bó bá ṣe eré àní Maiyegun máa wí. Maiyegun Diary, Maiyegun #1. Ó sì tún ṣe eré wàá gbọ́ níbẹ̀ o. Maiyegun Diary, Maiyegun #1. Maiyegun Diary, Diary Politico. Maiyegun Diary, Maiyegun #1. Godfatherism kò sí lọ́rọ̀ Maiyegun. Maiyegun Diary, Maiyegun #1. Ẹ farabalẹ̀ sẹ́ o kẹgọ́rọ̀ lẹ́nu o. Maiyegun Diary, Maiyegun #1. Àní Maiyegun làwa mọ̀ tó dòdòdò. Maiyegun Diary, Maiyegun #1. Àní ẹ̀sùn rákì. Maiyegun ti dé. Maiyegun ti dé. Ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn rákì. Maiyegun ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùn rákì. Maiyegun ti dé. Lórí Facebook. Maiyegun ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùn rákì. Maiyegun ti dé. Lórí YouTube. Maiyegun ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùn rákì. Maiyegun ti dé. Bọ́ba bá gbé wúrẹ́. Maiyegun máa wí. Àní ẹ̀sùn rákì. Maiyegun ti dé. Ijó ìgbádìyẹ. Maiyegun máa wí. Àní ẹ̀sùn rákì. Maiyegun ti dé. Ìpẹ̀sìdó bá rúfin o. Maiyegun máa wí. Àní ẹ̀sùn rákì. Maiyegun ti dé. Kí gómìnà kówó jẹ. Maiyegun máa wí. Àní ẹ̀sùn rákì. Maiyegun ti dé. Ọlọ́pàá ti ń darí bá. Maiyegun máa wí. Àní ẹ̀sùn rákì. Maiyegun ti dé. Aṣòfin tí ń rúfin o. Maiyegun máa wí. Àní ẹ̀sùn rákì. Maiyegun ti dé. Òpùrọ́ olóṣèlú. Maiyegun máa wí. Àní ẹ̀sùn rákì. Maiyegun ti dé. Ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn rákì. Maiyegun ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùn rákì. Maiyegun ti dé. Maiyegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn rákì. Maiyegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn rákì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dèrò ní fi wọ́n níran o. Maiyegun ti dé.
gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kí. Maiyegun ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kí. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ òní fi wọ́n níran.
Wọ́n fowó bẹ́ẹ̀ o Maiyegun ó sọ pé wọ́n ò fẹ́ bẹ́ẹ̀. Wọ́n fowó bẹ́ẹ̀ Maiyegun ó sọ pé wọ́n ò fẹ́ bẹ́ẹ̀. Oníkanṣá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe fáwọn ará ìlú tó gbé wọn débẹ̀ o àyè.
Maiyegun ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kí. Maiyegun ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kí. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ òní fi wọ́n níran.
Ha! Kì máa yí ṣe eré ọ̀rọ̀ yìí kì í ṣe ẹ̀fẹ̀. Kì máa yí ṣe eré ọ̀rọ̀ yìí kì í ṣe ẹ̀fẹ̀. Ẹni bá ti lè lẹ́bọ̀ lẹ́rù o ọmọ bá dèrò kàṣàyè tú wọn síta.
Maiyegun ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kí. Maiyegun ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kí. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ òní fi wọ́n níran.
Tẹnitẹni ọmọ Maiyegun ọ̀rẹ́ ara ìlú mọ̀mọ́ ni mo fọlọ́run ṣọ́ ẹ̀ bá kìlẹ́bù. Lóòótọ́ olódodo ìlú ọ̀tá ìlú mọ̀mọ́ ni ìwọ ṣá máa ń ṣọ́ra kò sì mọ́ bẹ̀rù. Bọ́tà ń lè rí bóníṣègùn lé káwọn mọ̀mọ́ fi ṣera wọn ni ó ti dẹrùn tí wọn ò gbọ́dọ̀ sì mọ́ bẹ̀. Èèpo ọ̀bọ lọmọ bá dérò tàjẹ́ ò gbọ́dọ̀ jẹ́ ó ti jọba lórí àbínú ẹni kò sì mọ́ bùyà. Àìsíwọ́lu ní ẹnìkẹ́ ìgbódì ẹyin lábàrá o ó kó ẹni tó bá dán wò á kàmù. Maiyegun ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ túnra kì. Maiyegun ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ túnra kì o. Ẹni bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dèrò òní fi wọ́n níran o.
Maiyegun ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kí. Maiyegun ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kí. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ òní fi wọ́n níran.